If I kill that bird.
Barbara, that's a bald eagle.
Get away, Baldy! Yeah!
Oh, well, good evening, and good evening. This is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GovsRadio.com. Tonight we are live on Facebook, live on the YouTube, on the Govs Comedy Club podcast channel. We have a great show for you tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We got Will via remote from Twin Lights Brewing in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. We have Ryan and Melissa from 27A, right smack in the heart of my hometown of Lindenhurst. But first, we must get to some sponsors. Peter is here with me tonight. We are minus Steve.
I feel so much pressure right now.
Steve lost the battle with COVID. And that doesn't mean
he's battling COVID.
No,
for
that's right.
sake.
You know what? You're right.
God.
Meaning he got it and he had to be left home.
Yeah.
He is fine, everyone, I promise.
Jesus.
That did sound bad.
What a way to start the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really like doing this over the phone, but nah, Steve's fine. He just has laryngitis. He's all congested. He doesn't want to come in here and infect us, nor is he going to probably make an appearance on the Zoom or the phone because of that, and he's a little insecure about his voice. You think that's the thing?
Is he?
I don't know. I'm guessing. He could have just coughed his way
I think
through.
He just wants to take a nap. And I don't blame him.
We need him for his sponsorships and his Steve's questions, for goddammit. And, of course, all his knowledge of years of brewing. We got it. Okay. Fine. All right, let's kick it off here with Rosie's Draft Solutions. And look, Peter is going to take it away today.
And I have a script. Rosie's Draft Solutions is a Long Island family-owned business. Provides professional draft beer system services, line cleaning and maintenance, draft beer line system installs, event dispensing solutions, and more. They're passionate about craft beer and making sure it has the same qualities when it left the brewery.
Yep.
That is done by making sure the draft system beer is poured from perfectly clean lines.
Clean.
Rosie services bars, restaurants, halls, and other beverage establishments, including home kegerator installs around Long Island, Westchester. They service some of our buddies over at 1940s. Blue Point Brewing.
BP.
And our good friends over at Hopscotch Battleship.
Why am I just repeating everything you say? I don't know. I usually do that to Steve, and it feels good, but it doesn't feel right with you. I don't know why.
Certified Cicerones. Off flavor detection. They are here to bring you professional services so you can serve the best quality product while obtaining the best yields. You don't want any shit yields, do you, Ryan? I feel like that ruins your weekend. Terrible yields, right? Yeah. You know got to yield all that fucking beer. Reach them at Rosie's Draft Solutions at gmail.com or call them at 631-219-2075, Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is some wide business hours.
It is.
Good
but he's available anytime. Emergencies as well. Go
Give
to
Nick a call.
Rosie's Draft Solution.
Tell him the Wort sent you.
Receive a little
discount. Little discount.
It really isn't that
Maybe
little.
a slap on the butt, too.
There you go. You had to pick it up.
I had to.
Steve left,
Steve does it. I think that was a little more mild.
Yeah, he was like a attaboy, right? It's a nice little attaboy. Tussle the hair a little bit.
Hey, good job out there.
Thank you. So go to rosiesdraftsolutions.com. Tell Nick the Wort sent you. Tonight we're also sponsored by Brewbag. Brewbag for your beer pong cornhole. Go get your Brewbag because it is a hell of a lot of fun to play, and it is getting warm outside.
Oh, it's going to be in the 60s next week.
Nice.
It's for sure going to be Brewbag weather.
Bags and beer pong cornhole. Go to brewbag.com or go to our Instagram, and in the bio there's a link tree to our private discount page, brewbag.com. And if you don't hit that, just type in the Wort and you will get your discount, brewbag.com. Peter, take it away with Beer Maker.
Beer Maker.
Wow.
Your at-home countertop all-grain brewing system. Brew your own beer right into a bag and then dispense it right out of your fridge.
That's right.
Lots of different recipes to try. Stouts, porters, IPAs, of course. Kolsch's. The Kolsch is my favorite.
Yeah.
Dunkelweisens, Mexican
Squeaky
lagers.
Kolsch?
Squeaky Kolsch is good.
Yeah.
Beer maker. Mention
Beer maker.
promo code the Wort for a little discount on your machine.
The Wort, all one word.
The Wort.
Yes, beermaker.com. Again, another link in our link tree. Check it out. We also sponsored by vintagebeershirtclub.com, vintagebeershirtclub.com for your vintage beer shirt. Yes, my voice is shot. I'm a little subconscious. Or is that subconscious?
Are you unconscious, Steve?
Yeah, I hope he is not. So anyway, go to vintagebeershirtclub.com and type in promo code The Wort to receive a discount on your monthly subscription to your cool Vintage Beer Shirt Club shirts. We're also sponsored by Physics, physics.com for your tap dispensary of Crowlers, 750 milliliter bottles. Lots of fun. Get beer poured right off the tap with your Physics machine. Go to physics.com and type in the promo code The Wort and receive 15% off anything on the store. Anything. You want to get a travel case? 15% off. You want to get the whole system? 15% off. Parts, anything. Go to physics.com. Again, another link in our link tree in our bio of Instagram, physics.com. And we want to give a shout out, of course, to Brewers Hardware. Brewers Hardware, who helps us sponsor gifts back to the Brewers, our guests on the show. So thank you, Brewers Hardware, for everything that, yes, he lost his fight with COVID. Steve, you're just going to text in all night. Come on. You might as well just throw some stuff in the chat.
Mike killed you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I apologize. That was worded poorly now I'm thinking about it. Pretty bad. He lost his battle with COVID, which means he never really had a battle. He just got COVID, all right? He's fine. He'll be fine. It's a head cold from this thing. So go to, I don't even know where I was. Oh, brewershardware.com for your small batch and large capacity needs, brewershardware.com. Type in promo code The Wort and receive a percentage off your order. God, quick shout-outs to a couple people today. We got a shout-out to Hopscotch, of course. Finished up brewery bracketology. Congratulations to Barrier, who took the crown this year at brewery bracketology. We know, and no offense to Dubco or Barrier, but we know this was all about social media interaction. This was really not about beer.
Yes,
but I know
think that was
you guys did very well. You passed that first round and ran up against someone that probably wasn't fair for you being in the same bracket with at that point. But either way, it's all about social media interaction. Of course, we know we love your beer. And of course, we want to give a quick shout out to the Lady Brewsters, who just finished brewing their third annual batch. We're going to have them on the show on April 18th. And last but not least, our buddy John from Dubco has something I would like to read for you guys. On April 10th, Destination Unknown Beer Company will be hosting a fundraiser for its second annual brew of the Release the Tulips, a charity beer with proceeds being donated to the American Parkinson's Disease Association. There will be various raffles, including a jersey signed by the current New York Islanders team. Eat Me, Drink Me will be there. That's a food truck, by the way, to fill your belly. And all around good times as we come together to raise funds and awareness for this debilitating disease. If you want any more information, go ahead and go on to Dubco's Instagram or follow John Frigioli. Just John from Dubco. But no, if you want to search for him, just go to Dubco on Instagram and you'll get information about that event. And in the house tonight, we have... I had
that beer last week.
It
was good.
It was good.
Quite good.
We have Ryan and Melissa from 27A. You guys are up there now. So hi, guys. How are you?
Hello.
And we have from the great Tinton Falls, New Jersey, is William from Twin Lights Brewing Company. What's up, Will?
How you guys doing?
Sorry it took so long to get through all those sponsors tonight, but usually we cut through it faster when there's three of us.
It's all good, man. I don't know whether to go get my draft lines cleaned by Rosie's or send flowers to Steve's family. But
yes, the answer is yes. Will.
Oh no, I didn't really mean all that. I really did not mean to do any of that. You know what? We'll send roses anyway. Diana's going to need it because she has to deal with Steve and is probably hacking cough at this point. So I don't think anyone wants to deal with that. And apparently they're. And the mother-in-law is also clear. They're all in the clear. So far, so good. I guess Steve's just sitting under his gazebo in the backyard drinking his life away, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that.
As long as he can taste the beer.
Yeah, there you go. I hope so.
Pass the time.
I had COVID, and I remember the first time around. This is like COVID 1.0.
Yeah.
I was drinking our Doors of Perception stout we made with coffee. And then I had Mother Funky Pineapple, which was a beer we brewed with pineapple. I was double fisting them. And I could not taste the difference between the two.
Really?
None.
Oh, then you got to know. You're like, I done got the COVID.
Yeah, it was a test. I failed.
Will, thanks a lot for being on the show. Appreciate your time tonight. So let's start off with you really quick, since you're remote and who knows if your phone's going to die. Let's squeeze the juice while we can. Give us a little background. Where did you come from? How'd you get into all this? Give us a little background of the brewery. Tell us a little bit about everything.
All right, so really, I'll give you the Spark Notes version. My business partner Mike and I have been friends since 6th grade. He called me up out of the blue one day, and I think it was like February of 2016. And I mean, literally out of the blue, I hadn't talked to him in like 6 months, and he just says, "Hey, what are you doing today? Do you want to brew beer?" I said, "Okay." So we took a drive to New Brunswick, New Jersey, to a store called Love to Brew. I don't even think they're there anymore. And we bought a little 5-gallon stovetop kit.
Nice.
Went back to his house, brewed a batch of beer, and then, of course, waited like 2 months for it to be done. And it was pretty good. It was good, and we had fun. So we kept doing it and did it again and did it again. And then at some point, after like the third batch of beer, we said, this is not enough beer for us. A 5-gallon batch, you split between 2 guys. I think you get a case each. I could drink that on a weekend, So we actually went out and bought a half-barrel system. Bought the SS Brewtech half-barrel conical fermenter.
Nice.
Really spent about $2,000. Ended up actually acquiring a local brewery's 1-barrel Blickman system from them.
Who'd you get it from?
Belford Brewery. They're friends of
Belford.
ours.
Yeah, I know Belford. Okay.
Yeah, they're a really cool family-owned brewery. They've been supporters of us since we were home brewing, and they sold us their original system. We moved the brewery operation to. I was living with my mother at the time. We moved the operation to my mom's house.
Okay.
And started brewing in the garage. And
I'm sure she appreciated that so much. She's like, "Thank you so much, Will."
It was great. Sundays were great. I mean, you come outside and we're hanging out, smoking a doob, and brewing some beer. It's nothing better on a Sunday afternoon. So he did that for about 3 years, and then kind of my business partner went into the brewing industry. He was working for Kane Brewing, which is a very, very well-known brewery in New Jersey.
Kane? Who is that? That's a crazy name.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So he was working for them. He was like their original delivery driver. He helped do brewery maintenance. I became a financial advisor, actually. I worked for Guardian Life Insurance Company for about 4 years.
Shout out to Guardian.
Yeah, they're good. They're a
Is
good
it
company
home and car? Is it life insurance? What kind?
Guardian specifically does life, disability.
Okay.
But they also have a full-service financial advising firm that does kind of everything. So I kind of worked with that, worked with clients, but always came from a restaurant background. And finally, I just got sick of dealing with people's finances and said it'd be a lot easier to sell people beer, wouldn't it?
Sounds like a lot more fun.
A lot more fun. Yeah, it's easier to sell, right? It was buy this life insurance policy or try my lager, a little easier. So we finally said enough is enough. Mike had left Kane and actually gone to work as the head brewer and actually became the head of production for Torch and Crown Brewery in the Bronx.
Yeah, shout out to Torch and Crown.
Yeah, they're great guys. Now they're I think one of the only production breweries in Soho. So he was doing everything. They were contract brewing for like 15 to 20 other breweries. So he kind of learned everything about.
They're still doing that. They have a portfolio. Every time you see like one of these smaller names go out there, you're like, oh, where'd they? Torch and Crown.
Torch and Crown. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a cool spot, good spot for him to learn the trade.
Yeah.
So we finally started looking at. We worked on our business plan for probably about 6 months. Tried getting money and found out nobody wants to lend us any money. The banks don't want to lend anybody money unless you got money. So we kind of hit a little rough patch. I went back into the restaurant industry. Mike kept working for Torch and Crown, and I managed a restaurant in Atlantic Highlands. And then finally we said, this is not what we want to do. We want to do our own thing. And so how do we open up with no money? And that led us to gypsy brewing, which is what we still do now. We gypsy brew. So we basically are the contract partner. We pay other people to essentially make our recipe and package our beer for us.
Right.
And then we are in New Jersey a licensed wholesaler, and we sell it. And we got our license approved 2 days before Governor Murphy shut down the state of New Jersey.
Perfect. No, that's perfect timing. You kidding me?
Listen, everything happens for a reason, man. If we would have had a retail tasting room, we wouldn't have been able to open it. We probably would have went out of business. So I'm a real big a believer in like everything happens for a reason, and the reason was for us to go entirely into the canned beer market, which we did, and we expanded pretty rapidly. We do distribute in 6 different counties throughout New Jersey, but we're primarily in Monmouth and Ocean County.
Right.
And now has come the time to open up our own brewery.
All right.
So we just signed a lease. We're actually taking over Jug Handle Brewing's old location in Tinton Falls.
Really?
Yeah, it was already built out for a brewery. We kind of saw the place, said this is perfect. Let's save a ton of money on the build out because everything's already built out. And
did they
we've
not
been kind of
survive?
working on that around the clock. What was that?
Did they not survive?
No, they did. They moved.
They moved. Okay, because I know I
yeah,
saw
it's
them
hard-
last year at AC Beer Fest. We were hanging out with them for a little bit.
They actually brew some of our beer for us.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, we do some of our smaller batches with them, and then give a shout out to Elementary Brewing in Hackensack.
Oh, love the Hackensack Lager. That is a great beer.
It is good, man. Yeah, and they make 100% of our lager, which is one of our flagships, and they do a great job on it. So,
Well, I need to open that next.
yeah,
we
man,
have it sitting right on top.
Lager's the beer my go-to.
There
Maybe
you
that's
go.
just because I think most brewery owners, you ask them what's their they're drinking lagers. Like,
Yeah, it is a brewer's
IPAs.
beer.
Ryan.
yeah, too many.
Lots of lagers.
So yeah, that's kind of where we are today, man. We're working on the brewery. We're building it out. The equipment should be getting shipped from Stout at the end of May, and we hope to be open and serving the public and brewing beer by really early August, late July.
So you guys have been pretty much relying on distribution at this point to keep it going. No,
100%.
I know AC Beer Fest you guys were at, but no other festivals, no
No, we
open
weren't. We
markets.
weren't at AC Beer Fest.
Oh, you
last year.
weren't?
We did not get the invite, unfortunately. We're going this year. We'll
You
be
are
there
going this year, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. Have you been to one before?
I've never been to an AC Beer Fest.
Oh,
I know.
it's
Asbury Park used to do a beer fest that was really kick ass, and ever since COVID, they stopped doing it. That was like the second closest thing. It was one of the big beer fests. I haven't been to AC though.
Asbury Park is dead to me when Surf and Skate Festival stopped. I was done.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going back there for shows or nothing. No Stone Pony, no nothing for me. That Surf and Skate Festival, the last one that they
boycott.
did. Yeah, just straight boycott. I'm not going to mess around.
No.
They had amazing festivals down there, and outdoor, of course, right on the beach. The whole neighborhood is shut down. It's awesome. And
Well,
when
you
they
See Here Now down there now.
yeah,
I don't know if you've ever heard of See Here Now Festival, but they
I
had
have
Pearl
heard of
Jam
it.
play there.
Pearl Jam played it. I don't know. I didn't. Again, probably right now dead to me unless they bring Surf and Skate back. I've had enough. I've had enough
All
of New
good,
Jersey.
dude. All good.
That festival, but I'll be at AC Beer Fest for sure. It is it's mind blowing, and we find this because now we've been to a bunch of these different types of beer fests. How many different types of styles people have. You guys, when you sent us some beer, have one of everything I can think of.
All the styles.
All the styles.
Yeah, I
9
gave
different
you
styles
everything.
in that package. So what was what is the strategy here with all of this out there? You have several different contractors working to make different styles for you. Are you handpicking who does what, or are you going through one person?
A little bit. I mean, our flagships are Lager and Double Vision. Those are our 2 year-round beers. There's so many different ways to do it, right? There's so many different ways to operate it. For us, we kind of looked at a little bit, what is everybody else doing, but also what do we want to do? And we kind of felt like it was important to have a couple beers that you brew year-round that people can kind of get whenever they want. For us, that was our Lager, which is a German-style Pilsner, and Double Vision IPA, which is really my friend actually coined it perfectly. She said it's the gateway IPA. It's people that tell me, I don't know if I like IPAs. I say, just try it. And they usually go, oh, this one's not bad. So those were the kind of the 2 that we went with. And then we also kind of took that model where some people don't have flagships and they just spew limited release beers out left and right. And there's always something new on the shelf. So we kind of did both. And we constantly come out with smaller limited release beers. Based on who brews it is usually based on how much we want to brew. Elementary has a 15-barrel system.
Yeah.
A Jug Handle has a 7. So we want a little bit of a smaller batch, something that we don't want as much of in the market. Sometimes with a sour or a stout, they sell slower. Sometimes we'll go with a smaller batch or just something we just don't want to sit on in the winter. because we don't have that retail avenue. Everything we make goes on the shelves of liquor stores and bars, and you kind of need it to sell in order to be in that store. So for us,
Going
I will
forward,
say
right?
that
If it doesn't sell for them, they're going to buy the next batch, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So for us, the one drawback for the model we've been in is that we haven't been able to make, you talk about we have a lot of styles, and we do, but we haven't been able to make some of the styles that we would like to make because they won't sell off the stores they won't sell off the shelves of a liquor store.
Such as?
I would love to make a Kolsch, man. We love Kolsch's. No one knows what a Kolsch is unless you're a serious beer drinker.
It's delicious.
They are, but they'll sit on the
Simply
shelf.
put. It will. You're right. It's hard when you want to be in business and sell beer to have those styles that are not as popular with the
general public. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the non-beer drinkers, but they're beer drinkers. They just started looking for other things, obviously.
Casual beer.
Casual
Well,
beer
there's a ton of people checking in on Instagram. I just want to go through a couple of these. My buddy Danielle and Bags live in New Jersey. They love you guys. When they heard you were coming on, she said
Awesome.
they're going to be checking in. Bags loves the Double Vision. That's one of his favorites. Hudson River Brewery checking in. Don Vino's here. Ryan's in. Small One's there. Steve's watching.
Oh.
Jay
Hey, Steve.
Bruzo.
Steve, you're alive?
Joey Joe is saying, where is everybody? Well, I had it on the computer screen so everyone can see Will.
I know.
And I just moved it away
Lazarus
from that.
moment.
Yes.
Resurrected from the dead. It's good to hear.
Danielle said they'll be at the brewery the day it opens. Beach House Beer's checking in from New Jersey.
Beach House.
Yes. Kraus in the house is checking in. Heat Misers is checking in. He loves you guys. Who else? D'O'Leary. I don't know. Thanks, guys, for checking in on Instagram. Keep watching. I'm going to switch the camera back around so you guys can see Will, if I can figure out a better way to position this back and forth. When we go virtual, it's harder. Everyone can hear you, but they just can't see you. So I have to find ways of manipulating the camera to get it working right. So we'll try that again. There we go. Now people can see on the remote. So let me ask you that. Well, there goes the camera.
geez.
This is why we don't have nice things.
It's a Blair Witch moment right there.
I didn't have the
see
suction
me.
going. Yeah, you see you. Well, this is on my phone through Instagram because Instagram doesn't allow streams on there, so that becomes the bigger problem. That's why it's kind of annoying to do simulcasting. The computer handles the Facebook and YouTube feed. And yeah, anyone on Instagram, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Go to the Govs Comedy Club podcast channel, or just type in the word with Mike, Pete, and Steve on YouTube or Facebook, and you'll find us. We're live over there somewhere. Well, so you guys, when did you guys start on this venture? What year? I know you said 2019 you're really looking to open the thing, but how far back did it go while you were kind of doing your own thing at your mom's house?
Oh, literally 3 months after we started brewing. We were sitting around drinking in my garage one night, and we were like, let's do this thing. And we actually incorporated our business in July of 2016. So really 5 months after we started brewing, we knew it was going to be something one day. And we were sitting around what do we name this brewery? Because we've lived in I say this area. We've lived in Monmouth
answer
County.
one of my questions already. You're going to answer.
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
where did the name come from?
Yeah, so the name. So we were sitting around one night and we were like, "What would we name this brewery?" And we're all throwing out names. And my friend was like, "What about Twin Lights?" So those of you who aren't familiar with the area, the Twin Lights is actually a very historic lighthouse. It was built. Don't quote me on this one, but 1867 or something like that. It overlooks the Jersey Shore, the beginning of the Jersey Shore. So if you come down exit 117 and you head all the way down to Sandy Hook, which is technically the first real beach in New Jersey, Sandy Hook Federal Park, it overlooks the entire shoreline right there in Highlands. And Highlands is kind of a really cool town. If you have a chance to come down and check out Highlands, you definitely should. It's like an old fisherman's town that has just got its own vibe going on. There's a lot of cool bars. We always hung out down there. And we originally were like, this would be a real cool spot to open a brewery. Let's name it Twin Lights. And we kind of actually unofficially made that our home. In the middle of COVID, when all the bars and restaurants were closed down, the Chubby Pickle, which is our first ever account, we were selling cases.
That is a great name for a bar.
That's where I want to go out. The next time I'm in New Jersey is the
that
Chubby
place
Pickle.
is quickly. I can't say anything now because I think it hasn't been announced yet, but you will see them on TV very soon. Let's just put it that way.
Really?
They are doing big
Bar
things.
rescue.
Oh,
It's
God.
bar
Please
rescue.
tell
Not
me,
bar
please
rescue.
tell me
Oh,
the
my
chopper's going to shut it down.
He's going to shut it down. Someone's going to be hammered at the bar when they shouldn't be. He's going to have 4 guys in an SUV.
Shut it down!
Hold it down! He's going to dump hot wings all over the kitchen floor and say the temp isn't right. We know John Taffer.
Oh
We
my
actually
God.
had a bar up in Huntington years ago that he came and did a bar rescue on.
Oh, what is it? Pints and Quarts or something?
No,
right?
it was the old Artful Dodger, and they changed into like some speakeasy gas station thing. I don't think.
I
Do,
think that was
do these
Pints and
bars
Quarts.
actually really stick? 'Cause I remember one bar. As soon as he left, they just changed it back to the way it was.
Yeah, there was some people
actually
that-
keep it.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
The Pirates.
Oh, it was the pirate one. That's right. That's a
what?
classic one. Oh, you didn't see that one?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
that's a great one. No, a lot of them don't make it because they do fall back in their old ways. I don't know what the actual recipe is. I actually tried to look it up to find out what the contract is because John Taffer ends up becoming partial owner, and they have to pay him back over time.
Wow.
Yeah, he has a whole corporation that gets
What a
involved with this
racket,
and
John
whatnot.
Taffer, man.
Oh, yeah. That's how he stays on air and just keeps rescuing bars and taking a cut and then bouncing and leaving them to their own devices. Some of them do very well, though. The one in Huntington on Long Island, I don't think made it. I thought it was like the Pit Stop or something like that. Yeah, you look it up. But
Yeah.
in the end, some of them just don't do what he's asking them to do because it is difficult. And
It's not easy, man.
no,
I
it really
did
isn't. When
It's
you-
not
and
easy. Running
being
a
in
bar
the
is
in-
tough.
yeah, in the restaurant business is tough in general. And then can you imagine, what happened as it swept through with COVID? So let me ask you about that. So when you guys made the transition, obviously, thank God you didn't get your brick and mortar at that point. You said you were canning. How did you guys get it out there during the lockdown in New Jersey?
I mean, just old school, like hit the pavement, like walking in the door, phone calls. I mean, coming from my other industry, trying to get let me try to get the CEO of a company on the phone to get a group health insurance plan installed. Yeah, right. But it's actually quite easy in the brewing industry to call a bar and say, who buys your beer? Can I speak to the person who's in charge of buying your beer? And usually you'll get somebody on the phone and
Yeah.
most of the time they're willing to at least have you come in the door and hear your spiel. So, we did it and our beer speaks for itself. So we got a lot of traffic and we're really, really active on social media. Obviously we had to be because we don't have, a brick and mortar. So we've been real active on social media and we try to do a lot of collaborations. Our kind of unofficial slogan is community inspired, which we are. We live in a beautiful area. We care about the area. We care about the people that live in it, and that's the brewery we want to be. So, the beer that I'm drinking, I'll do a little shout out right now. Mother Leeds. We did a collaboration with a local band called Connor Bracken and the Mother Leeds. We donated some money to Project Matters in Asbury Park, which helps young musicians, pay for classes and instruments and to get the help that they need if they're having, substance abuse or mental problems. So we try to always give what little money we do make back to the community. And that's really kind of how we've been spreading and getting our name out there. And I always say to everybody, you keep drinking it, I'll keep making it.
When we were looking through the cooler and figuring out what we were going to drink tonight, that's one of the ones I pulled out. I saw the guy playing the guitar and the label there. And then on the side of the label, I saw there's a Spotify barcode.
That's
called
something
Scan
we
and
do.
Jam. Tell us about that.
That's something that I don't want to sit here and say we're the first brewery to do it. I think there has been but we are definitely the brewery. We do it on every one of our beers. We put a playlist that goes with the beer. Give you an example of beer.
So wait, that's a playlist goes specifically with this beer as opposed to
Yes.
other beers. It's not just a
Yes.
general brewery playlist.
Nope. Every beer has its own custom playlist.
That is fucking cool.
That is and time consuming. How do you guys go about that selection?
Usually we sit down because the beer usually come out most of the time before the day before we distribute it. So we'll usually sit down and drink some beers and just be like, what's the vibe of this beer? The name, for Connor Bracken and the Mother Leeds, we kind of released it around St. Patrick's Day. So there's definitely probably some, I don't even know what's on it at this moment.
I guarantee Dropkick Murphys. I'm just throwing shit against the wall on that one.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least one of those. But hopefully a nice deep track.
Yeah, but we try to put some local artists on them. We did one. We did another collaboration with another band about a year ago and it was a local record label, and we featured all their different bands' music on it. And it's kind of worked out for us too because it's when you do that, you have an entire community that's supporting you past just the beer. That it's they're like, oh, this is cool. It's our friends on the label, and they're giving back to this charity. So you have the charity promoting it, and you have the band promoting it, and we're promoting it, and it's just a really good, from a community standpoint, it's great, but it's also good from a business standpoint because the beer usually does better.
I mean, it must have taken a lot of time. We have 9 beers here tonight from you guys. That's 9 different playlists. That seems like a lot. It really does. It's a lot of extra work on top of it, but I'm sure you guys enjoy that.
And it's not like 4 songs either.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, some of them are a lot.
But
for
Mike
Lost
also
Horizon,
makes...
there's an hour and 8 minute long playlist.
Wow. I better not take me an hour to drink that.
Lost Horizon, that's the most recent beer. If you see it on the front of it, there's a guy like hiking. It's kind of like that beer. We were kind of like a vibe. You kind of go for a long hike. It's a pale ale. It's 5.6%. It's like a West Coast style. So that's a lot of music that is kind of chill, relaxing, peaceful, relating maybe to the mountain.
Yeah, nature sounds.
Nature.
Yeah, go to sleep. No, I mean, I don't mean that badly. I mean, have a couple of beers and then fall asleep to the nature sounds on the playlist. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. Some chill music.
Yeah. So the Mother Leeds, this is an Irish style. You said you had it for St. Patrick's Day. Obviously, the background was for the band. We want to get into some beers here because you have a lot to go through and we have a lot to talk about. What did we drank that pale ale first, correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little breakdown of that pale ale. Now, again, who's contracting that for you right now? By the way, your recipes, are you kind of developing that with the brewery? Are you just giving it to them and leaving it in their hands? How is that relationship working?
So Mike, like I said previously, was a contract brewer. So I don't know what his resume is of how many different beers he's brewed, but he's made a lot. Yeah. And obviously, when you're contract brewing, some people, let's put it politely, don't know what they're doing, and some people do. So as a contract brewery, someone who contracts for other breweries, you have to obviously, some people, you go, okay, this is perfect, I'll make it. And some other people say, hey, maybe you might want to use this instead of this instead of that. So Mike did that for close to 2 to 3 years. He knows kind of generally what goes good in a beer and what is not going to go good in a beer as terms of ratios of different grains, different hops, different adjuncts. So really all 100% of our recipes are all his. Okay. We don't pilot any of our recipes. Every single recipe we've ever brewed as a professional brewery minus one, Mother Funky Cucumber, was the one beer we brewed as home brewers where we actually took that recipe and made it. Every other recipe has been, besides obviously lager and double vision, we've brewed so many different times at this point, but every other beer has only been made usually once or twice.
Huh. Now, when you guys get to your own system and have your own spot, do you get to keep those recipes, or are you going to have to develop a whole new recipe log?
They're ours.
They are.
I mean, everything's ours. In the contracting world, everything's yours. The label design is yours.
Yes, I guess that's what I was going for when I was asking the initial question. It is yours. You get to own
it's
that.
Yours. Yeah. Literally, let me put it in a way that like most people can understand it. Imagine your grandma had a cookie recipe and she just crushes it out of the park, and then she hands that recipe to you and you make it.
Yeah.
It's if you follow her directions to the T, it's probably going to come out exactly how she makes it or close to it. That's kind of what we kind of do. Okay. Like we have a recipe.
That makes a lot of sense. I just thought, to have all these guys with their hands in and then you walk away with very little or nothing and have to redevelop a lot of the portfolio would be a tough thing to do.
It would be tough. Yeah. Well, luckily we don't have to do that. Now there's always things. I'm a big proponent of no one's going to make our beer better than we will. I think we're going to make it even better when we make it ourselves.
Positivity.
Be there every day. You kind of, you hand a recipe to somebody, I'll use the elementary as an example. They're great guys and we trust them with our beer. They make great beer, but we're not there every day able to taste it every single day to say, maybe if we just tweak it a little bit right now, it'll taste a little bit different. We kind of have to just trust that the original outline we gave them. You're less adaptive when you're gypsy brewing because you're not there.
It shows the right people. I mean, the lager we just cracked open. I like it very much. It is clean, crisp,
beer-flavored beer.
Beer-flavored beer,
it's
indeed.
Beer-flavored. That's exactly what I just used. I did a tasting at a liquor store, and I said to a guy, "This is the most beer-flavored beer we make. Try this one. If you don't know you even like craft beer, just give this one a shot."
So give us a little breakdown of the lager. What went into this recipe?
We wanted to keep it really easy drinking, which is why it's 4.8%. But we didn't want to make it a light beer. We didn't want to, bring it down to like 4.2. That'd be a little too light. We use German style hops, Pearl and Saaz, which are, pretty old school German hops. We use, I know off the top of my head, I don't know exactly what yeast we use, but it's a pretty clean yeast. Right now, I think we lager it about 25 days, which for 25 days is on the shorter side for a lager, but it comes out pretty good. I think when we do brew it ourselves, we might lager it for a few more days to see how it comes out then. But we're pretty happy with that product, and people
are you vying
drink the hell out of it in the
for
summer.
Are you vying for tank space because of the contract, and that's why you're kind of good with like a compromise of 25 days?
Well, so when you're in the contract brewing industry, you are vying for tank space to an extent, but you pay per day that thing is in the tank.
Oh, really?
So when you're contract brewing
Balls.
in traditional brewing,
sucks.
yeah, man, it's tough. So a lager should be, from a raw material standpoint, one of the cheapest beers to brew. I mean, it's not as much hops. It's usually a lighter beer than like some of these double IPAs that use a ton of, crazy ingredients sometimes. And you have to pay per day. So the longer that lager sits in the tank, which is really, some people lager their lagers for three months or longer, it ends up becoming the same price as an IPA, and nobody in their right mind is going to buy a 4-pack of lager
for $20.
that is the same price as, no one's going to do it.
It's true.
I'm
It's
looking
just
at the
not gonna
playlist for the lager, by the way, and it's fucking great.
That one's just a wild. I think we opened that one to the public at one point, and like everyone
that's
and their mother
dangerous.
was just throwing songs on there. Yeah,
I will say, with the exception of Sugar Ray being on there, I feel like that's an edit that needs to happen, Will. But
you know what they should have put on there
hating
is
on Sugar Ray.
Yeah, no, maybe original hardcore version of Sugar Ray. Remember, Sugar Ray was a hardcore band before they went
He
mainstream. I was at Warped Tour '96, and I saw what's his face? Who's the lead singer?
Mark McGrath.
Mark McGrath. Thank you. Screaming, hardcore screaming, grumbling into the microphone. He absolutely is. One of those. I can't. How am I going to take it off of him? I can't take it off of him.
I don't know.
It's not. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. I don't know. That's kind of weird. You're right. I'm just looking at it now. Interesting. Is that better?
We're getting a little.
Yeah. No, there's a cursor over your face, and I'm trying to take
sending
it
us some
off.
tips while he's watching from home.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Steve. Jackass. There we go. I got it off. Look. See, it's gone. Whew. All right. Anyway.
Once again, we're glad you're not dead, Steve.
Yes.
Still battling.
Thank
COVID.
God. He's still. You know what I would have picked, Will? I would have picked "Turtleneck and Chain" by The Lonely Island. That is a good song to go on that playlist. It mentions light beer, and it's just a wacky song.
Quite the eclectic
I'm gonna
mix.
add it just for you now.
Yeah, "Turtleneck and Chain" on the list.
Led Zeppelin,
Yep.
Beastie Boys,
Nice.
Pearl Jam, Everclear.
Everclear, nice. Is it which one?
Santa Monica.
Yeah, is it Santa Monica?
Everything to Everyone.
Oh, okay, everything.
classic.
Everything. Yeah.
And then we got some Wu-Tang.
Nice.
With, Cream.
Oh,
Dollar
nice.
Dollar Bill, y'all.
Gotta.
See, that's like a wild card. Who the heck threw that one on?
Someone with the initial J.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
I
even
mean,
know.
it's kind of cool because you can follow along. If people are following along with your releases and they go, "Oh, cool, it's a new playlist," that's something even that
I
attracts
say
them
that's
to
a
the beer and
Pretty cool fucking concept.
To me, it's definitely original. I've not seen anyone do that yet. I know you said you probably were not the first, but I have not seen that in this area for sure. So that's a cool concept. So we're gonna.
It's something we're gonna expand on. Hopefully, it's tough because it's so small in the back of a beer. Most people aren't walking through a liquor store and they see that and they go, "Oh, what is that? I'm gonna try it." You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be better when we have a tasting room and we can really like talk to people. And
Yeah,
explain
I'm
to
looking for the playlist beer. Does anybody have that on the shelves? Can I get the playlist beer?
people. Yeah, the playlist beer.
We just opened Mother Leeds, the Irish Red.
Oh, my.
Yeah, very red. Let's get this breakdown. What do we got going on here?
It is way lighter than you think. I'll say that.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, we went with a little more easy drinking beer. Just because everyone on St. Patrick's Day is, usually either drinking Guinness, which is actually light and easy drinking, or they're drinking Jameson, and I don't want to kill people with my Irish Red. So we went a little lighter on the alcohol content with it. So it's a little bit more of an easy drinking Irish Red. But yeah, we were just kind of going for drinkability with this one.
It's good.
I like it.
A little. It feels peppery. I guess maybe after the lager being a little sweet, this one has a little more of the not heat at all, but just a little more of the spice element. What are some of the fantastic little adjuncts that you're throwing in this guy?
Well, we use Maris Otter malt.
Okay.
Which Maris Otter is just like one of the better base malts. It's just got more flavor. We use that in the Lost Horizon 2, which I would love to brew that exact same beer with the just pale malt and see how the two compare.
Yeah.
Because Maris Otter just sometimes gives off a lot. I think in this Irish Red, it's the perfect amount because it's such a light beer that you need. If we use just regular pale malt or 2-row in there,
right.
it wouldn't taste. You would have almost no taste at all. It would be next to nothing because we only use Willamette hop in there. So
it's really light on that side. So you need something else there to kind of punch it up a little bit. There is no way
gives it the red flavor.
Oh, right there. There's no way we're going to be able to drink fast enough to go through all of these. You said you had
I would recommend cracking Years of Solitude.
All right, so Pete's going to bring that out. But in the meantime,
we make.
You just said you had prior to the show we were talking, you have a beer that was just released recently. This week, in fact, right? So give us a little breakdown, or last week because today's Monday.
Yeah, that was the Lost Horizon. I think we kind of already talked about it.
Yeah, a little bit. That's right. I forgot that was the one.
Yeah, that was the most recent beer we made. We kind of went. That was our first ever West Coast style pale ale. We make a ton of New England style IPAs. They're good. I like
as
them.
One does.
They sell the best. But we wanted to go a little bit different with that one, so we brewed a West Coast pale ale. But that's a smaller batch. We did that one with Jug Handle. That one we already sold out on our end. So what's on the shelves in the stores is what you got. And then the next beer we have coming out is next week is our second anniversary IPA. It's 2 years in business for us next week.
That's right. Congratulations.
Yeah, so a little mini plug. We're having our second anniversary. We have a beer pairing dinner. It's sold out, but the after party is at the Chubby Pickle in Highlands. We got karaoke night all night long, and it's going to be a hell of a good time.
Who doesn't want to go to the fucking Chuggy?
Wait, I think I can call it. Is Bruce Springsteen playing at the Chubby Pickle?
Bruce Springsteen, I don't know if he's ever played at the Chubby Pickle, but Bruce Springsteen did used to play in Highlands a lot. He actually got to start down there. Actually, really cool fun fact. If you drive down Highland, there's a giant purple building that looks like a barn. It's a guy named Tinker. I don't know his real name, but everyone calls him Tinker. He's like an 85-year-old man. He was Bruce Springsteen's first manager. He drove him and his drummer across country to sign a record deal. He's in the Surfing Hall of Fame because he used to make surfboards. Like, this guy is a legend, and he's just chilling in Highlands, New Jersey in a big purple barn.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Can
crazy.
people you see him walking around? Is he out and about?
Yeah, actually for the Highlands Parade, so they had the St. Patrick's Day Parade this year, which is he actually has a live band in this purple barn and just opens it up to the public, and everyone and their mother can just go walk in and drink.
That's freaking awesome. Hang out with a legend.
Yeah.
So we have the Solitude, Years of Solitude. I'm just going to say we're going to crack it, but it is a 10.2, and we have a lot of beer to drink tonight. I was hopefully waiting to the end, but while we're waiting on this, we'll let it come up to room temperature too. Give us a little breakdown of this. I see coconut, nibs, vanilla, lactose. Is it like a straightforward imperial stout?
It's very, very different and unique. I would say that's the beer that we spent the most physical labor ourselves actually making because all the adjuncts were prepared by hand ourselves. So there's over 100 pounds of toasted coconut. Mike literally, him and his wife,
just
over 16 hours toasted 100 pounds of coconut in his oven at his house. And then we used real Madagascar
How long did that take?
16 hours, he said.
16 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Your couches will never smell the same after that.
Man.
That's bananas.
But, we don't, you could easily throw some coconut adjunct in there. That beer would taste completely different. Like, the real thing is just so different. And then the same thing with the Madagascar vanilla beans. Like, if you use, adjunct vanilla, it just does not have the same taste as real Madagascar vanilla beans. They're like $400 a pound, but they're well worth using. And then we put a little cacao nips, and we didn't put a lot of lactose in there. There's only I think we did a 15-barrel batch. There's only probably 50 or 100 pounds of lactose, which is real mild on what most people put in a milkshake IPA.
You're picturing what 50
Sounds
to
like
100 pounds of lactose is.
Yeah, but it's not a lot. Some people throw like 500 pounds in a batch where, it just overwhelms you, and then you're just going to the bathroom every 10 minutes. So we kind of wanted to make it
natural diuretic.
Yeah. a little bit lighter, like people drink it and they're shocked because it's not as heavy as it looks.
Right. Yeah,
It doesn't taste as boozy as it is.
And people think lactose, that's what's going to up your ABV, and it does, but it also provides some sort of texture and balance to it at times if you're using it in moderate amounts. In this case,
I mean, lactose actually, and I'm not the head brewer. I'm more the business end of it at this point, but I'm pretty sure lactose doesn't ferment.
Oh,
and that's
really?
why it gives. That's why it gives beer
It's
body.
not fermentable.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's not fermentable.
I thought just because
it gives beer its body.
It's an ose that it would be a sugar that the yeast doesn't get to it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Please
that's
explain,
something
Ryan.
to say to you. If yeast won't even eat it,
Yeah, the yeast doesn't even
should your body be digesting it? I don't know.
Ah, well, there. And that's why it's a natural diuretic.
That's it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna let this come up to temp. We're gonna go ahead and whenever you're ready to go, we'll send you off with this beer as we let this come up to temp. In the meantime, there's a bunch of others here that I'm very interested in. The one that I was looking at is, of course, just your straight IPA, the Golden Embers, and this one, as opposed to the double or as opposed to other ones, I saw some pictures out there of people posting. It has that hazy characteristic, but it's just a single IPA. Give us a little breakdown of this guy.
Yeah, I mean it's a single. I think it's 7%, right? I don't have the can in front of me.
7%. Yep.
7%. It's a New England. It's hoppy as hell, but it's very smooth.
Yeah.
It's almost
All
like
the haze.
All of the haze.
At all in that.
And usually when you think, that level of haze, you're probably thinking double, triple, super hazy. And you don't even label it as a hazy IPA. It's just IPA. Try this.
Yeah, I mean most of our beers, what we've always tried to go for is balance. Like when someone has one flavor that just overwhelms a beer, it sometimes takes away from what the beer could be. So a lot of our beers we try to make very balanced. I think that one is pretty balanced. Maybe not as bitter as some people would want, but people really like that one.
Let me circle back to the tasting room you guys are going to be opening. Is the equipment that you purchased, that's already in and ordered, or what's the?
It's ordered.
Yeah.
It's not there yet though.
No. Overseas, right? You said it was a stout system.
I mean, even when you buy it from an American manufacturer, odds are it's probably coming from China.
Yeah.
But
At least the raw materials for sure.
yeah. So it's we ordered it from Stout Kettles, which is a pretty well-known American-owned brewery manufacturer. We were lucky enough that they had a 7-barrel electric system already manufactured and on its way to the United States that wasn't claimed. We got really, really
That's
lucky
crazy.
with it.
That's great. You're like bidding on it on the boat, as it says.
really.
Yeah, dude, the
Crossing
lead
the
time
seas.
is like a year for new brew systems.
Wow.
So we got ours.
Wow, is that real?
We're gonna get it from.
That's
We ordered it
crazy.
in February. We're gonna get it in less than 4 months. That's like stupidly good.
Holy cow! What kind of connection was that? Was that through a distributor?
No, we just called Stout ourselves.
Just lucky enough that it was
Yeah,
available, I
just
guess,
lucky time, and
Yeah.
then we're buying our own canning line. I don't know the exact manufacturer we're getting that one from, but we're buying our own canning line.
How many heads on the canning line?
I'm pretty sure it's 2 or 3.
Okay.
But for the amount, let's just say we have a 7-barrel system, but we're getting all 15-barrel tanks. So you double brew into a 15-barrel tank. We have no idea what the tasting room is going to bring, but we have a really, really big distro market already. So you got to assume even if we keep half of it for the tasting room and only can the other half, it's 70 cases is not a lot to can, which is why we decided to get our own line, because to have a mobile canner come in and do a small run of less than 100 cases, it will literally cost you both arms and both of your legs. You will be Lieutenant Dan in the middle of the brewery in no time.
We're trying to get the beer out there. I mean, are you planning for that distro? Like, you're going to have to compete now with not just distro, but with your opening tasting room, having this many styles on hand. And I'm sure you're probably not going to do like 9, 10 styles, although you could probably build that up once you start moving. But are you afraid of trying to keep up with the demand that you've already met to date?
No, because we always have the opportunity to just keep contracting.
I was going to say, yeah. So that's,
Those
yeah.
flagship beers, the lager and that double vision, you can just keep.
If we wanted to, we could keep our flagships going at Elementary. Or brew beer at Jug Handle. I mean, there's no shortage of I mean, I won't say there's no shortage of people that can make your beer, because there is, but we haven't,
There's capacity out there.
There's capacity out there. Yeah. I mean, even I had reached out to, when I first started, I was talking with Flying Fish, and he's like, man, the smallest batch of beer we can do for you is like 50 barrels. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, I can't do 50 barrel batch.
You're going to have to distribute through Total Wine.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, we are in Total Wine.
Yeah,
we're in the new one that just opened in Eatontown.
Did they give you a minimum?
No, I mean, our minimum is really, we only do a two. Usually, if you're in Monmouth County, we only have a two case or 1/6 minimum to deliver beer.
Really?
We're 100%. I drive the box truck on Thursdays, and my business partner drives it on Wednesdays, and we are doing everything ourselves. So.
See, I heard things about our local one that you have to have a certain minimum. That was a lot of. I remember Steve was even saying, that when they wanted to do it and they wanted to get it out there, I forget what Nerd Girl, I guess, or whatever it was, they had to produce.
Raiders of the Lost Dark, I think, is the one he brewed for them.
But then there was another one where they wanted this ridiculous size minimum, and it was like, well, I know that this beer, this style that I'm about to brew, isn't going to sell as much as some others, but this is what's on the schedule, and this is what they want. So I ended up being kind of, I guess, detrimental in a way, but at the same time...
you guys are talking about minimum, batch to brew.
Right, well, what Total Wine was willing to take... They would only take, a certain, level of, let's say, I'm going to say half pallet or something like that, 50 cases or something. That's the minimum you have to produce for that distribution deal.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I can't say for us. They'll take 2 cases.
Well,
I'll roll in there with 2 cases of beer, and they'll take it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Interesting enough. So we've been talking to New Jersey breweries over the last 5 years that we've been a show. And we've come across so many weird things that New Jersey has as opposed to New York. How do you see the brewing industry in New Jersey? Even if it's hyper local, but overall in the state.
I can tell you, even from when we got started 2 years ago, it's vastly different on terms of a distribution side. I mean, you've had big breweries like Other Half coming in, taking up market share from local breweries. It's really competitive. I don't know if I was going to do what I did 2 years ago today, we probably wouldn't survive.
Wow.
We were like perfect timing. Everyone was drinking canned beer to go during COVID, and we came in the market right at the right time. Us and actually a couple good friends of ours, Ross, have the same business model. They did this kind of the same thing as us, and we've both been pretty successful with the distribution. I think really what you're seeing in the industry as a whole, and you saw it with the Dogfish Head Sam Adams merger, is that big regional breweries are just continually losing market share to local craft breweries. You have some of the ones like Other Half and like Trillium, which are making a little bit of a name for themselves, and where they're getting a little bit more into the distro, a little bit. The Other Half is just an animal.
Yeah, they're just consuming all around them like a black hole.
But still, that's going to eventually.
I know.
It's going to eventually stop, and people are still. What I found is people still want to drink local.
Yep.
They want to go to the brewery down the street.
Yep.
They want to know who the owner is. They want to say, "Oh, that's my friend's brewery."
First, I want the time to go to drink the brewery down the street. But once I have that time, I'm going to be there.
So, and that's why we're going towards a tasting room model, because the distribution model is not.
There's a limited amount of shelf space. And if you're selling to the general public, there's those bigger brands are going to command more shelf space. They're going to get a better spot, and they're going to, if they have more name recognition, they'll sell quicker.
And that's what it is.
Yeah,
is name recognition, really. So the way you build your name recognition, I think, really is the biggest way you can do it is really through word of mouth. I mean, I'm a big fan of word of mouth. That's the best way to do it.
Well, I can't keep up with the amount of people on Instagram. We're blowing up tonight, and I think it's probably because people really like the Twin Lights, and they're waiting to talk to Melissa and Ryan here. But that's besides the point. They're here, by the way. They are here. They're just listening to conversation. Very good listeners, I'll tell you that. Anytime you guys want to just...
We're listening and enjoying.
Yes.
Chime in.
Yeah, no, they're there. Any questions for them from what you heard so far? From anything that's going on?
No.
No. You're doing all the right things, bro.
Yeah, listening to his story, and we're just kind of the opposite. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea for Ryan and Melissa is they are the hyper local brewery. They are the town brewery. They don't have the distribution. Everything is right there in their brewery, and they do have the local support. As we were saying prior to the show, it is the Lindenhurst Brewery. If you think of the brewery in the town, yes, there's Sand City. We've all heard of it, but the town brewery is 27. First of all, you were here first, so cheers to that. But after that,
Lindenhurst's second oldest brewery.
That's right.
Yep.
And what the oldest one was?
Linden.
That's
Yes.
right. And
But
Linden
they
was.
closed
I told you
in-
there's 2 other ones.
Yeah,
so
there was
there-
like 2
whatever.
other ones.
Did
Yeah.
Genesee have one? Not Genesee. There was something I was reading in the history books, the Historical Society. I really was. I like history. And that will you be interested to know this? Lindenhurst is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most amount of bars per square mile.
Square mile, yeah. Back in like the 80s, I think.
In the 80s.
You know what's funny? So was that town I was talking about. So was Highlands at one point. That's crazy.
They
we
probably
have
took
the
us out.
we have the title for 86. You have the title for 87.
Yeah, probably.
It's just one of those towns that was built for drinking. It's Irish, German, heavy, and there you go. That's just a recipe for good old drinking.
Yeah, as a fellow German, I can say I like to drink.
You have to come to Lindenhurst. then.
Yeah.
It's a very
I would
German
love
town.
to, yeah, absolutely.
Very German town.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
come down to Long Island. You let us know. You making a trip. You want to come to some breweries. We're going to hang out with.
I went to college with a lot of people from Strong Island, man. And, all good people. I would love to come out there and visit some old friends.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Marist.
Oh yeah, Marist.
My brother got
Good
kicked out
old
of Marist.
town.
Marist was my safe school, and they denied me.
They denied you.
How sad is that?
My brother got kicked out of the dorms.
Yeah.
And then he was not allowed to come back for sophomore year.
That's why I left my second year of college, because I got on housing probation.
Yes.
I was on housing
Yeah.
probation, had to live off campus, and my parents were like, "No, you're not." I'm like, all right, I'll go to Hofstra. That's fine.
Classic.
The concept of what you're moving forward with here, you're obviously doing a lot of planning, a lot of future concepts and things that are going to be happening. Give us like I guess your image for what, or your vision for what the future holds for Twin Lights.
I mean, once we open this tasting room, we're just going to get a lot weirder with some of the styles. We can make some of the styles that we haven't been able to make before because we have the tasting room to sell them. We're going to have a ton of live music in our tasting room, as much as the state of New Jersey will allow us to have, because they're just...
That was
it can
one of
take you
those
2
things, right?
hours.
Live events, and even like TV, like hosting like a football game or a basketball game.
Was considered
We're
to be
only
an event.
we're only allowed to have 2 TVs that are not. We can have as many TVs as we want that have menus, but we're only allowed to have 2 TVs in the brewery that are that can like have live TV on them. Only 2, and
What
they
a
have
fucking
to be
weird
under a certain
rule.
size.
Their rules are so weird.
Yeah,
The
you know
restaurant
what it
guild
was?
is stronger
Yeah.
than
It's just
their brewery
the
guild.
laws
That's
haven't
what it
changed
is.
since the repeal of prohibition.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an interesting like historical concept that if in fact
Every state's blue laws are just so fascinating.
yeah, that's
how
what I'm saying.
fucking weird they
and
are.
how they haven't been, deliberated or debated on and fixed to more modernize the society and understand that, look, there's an entire industry in these states and in these towns that needs to be addressed. There is a total lack of futuristic vision from all forms of government. We really need to look at the future and
there's
move
a
forward.
special interest group in every state.
I understand that. I get it. I get it. But you know what?
In New
There comes a
Jersey,
point-
it's the Restaurant Association.
correct.
Yeah.
That's
In Vermont,
They
you
are
can't
so
order
powerful.
pictures.
They do not want breweries to
That's
compete
the
with them.
weird one I
Although
remember.
and actually, I'll just give a shout out to Blake from elementary. He said to me, he says, it's horseshit. They have to buy a $500,000 liquor license. I have to shell out $500,000 for equipment to brew it. What do you mean I can't have a kitchen? I can't serve wine. It's just, it's crazy. But at this point,
It does make you feel lucky to be here, though, right? I mean, we do have.
Yeah, we just
the New
keep
York
our mouths
laws are a
shut,
little
play by the
better
rules.
when we talk to people in Pennsylvania, like Barley Creek, or when we talk
The
to
one that's
Virginia.
weird here is that you can't buy beer the same place you buy wine or liquor.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
Annoying.
odd.
Yeah, people find that odd, and
The
I
first-
I
the
don't.
first-
I'm so used to it by now.
Right.
But
The first time I went to a Total Wine was in Minnesota, and I'm like, and that was what surprised me. Like, I can buy, the liquor store sells sells beer, which was
Yeah.
that's
And now you go to Total Wine here, and they're two
and
separate
they have to
stores.
operate a separate
Yeah.
fucking business.
Like it has to be a wall.
That's right.
Yes.
yes,
Store.
So
and it's
strange.
a totally separate corporation.
All I want to do is go to Target and buy a bottle of wine. That's all I want in my life. I will move out to New York just to do that.
I feel
You
like
and a lot of moms out there, Melissa.
Yeah. Actually, did you guys see the you sent it out, the Sly Fox April Fool's joke?
Oh yeah,
with
that
the box
really.
of beer or box of hazy IPA?
They got me.
You got me, and I'm like, what is that? It really is a thing. We can have a box of hazy IPA.
Yeah, well, a brewery. Oh, Maryland. There was a brewery in Maryland. They had. I got fooled. They got me. But their April Fool's joke was they were releasing. They were one of the first breweries in Maryland to can their beer. So they were revolutionizing the industry again, and they were going to release beer in a box, and it was called Boxo Hazy. And I fucking fell for it.
Dude.
That's mean.
I'm gonna tell you a true story. This is the honest to God truth. We went to CBC out in Denver this year, Craft Brew Conference. Awesome time. And I was on the vendor floor. I went to every single vendor who makes plastic containers. Pertainer makes the plastic pub kegs. I said, what do we have to do to bring back the beer ball? I want to bring it back.
Oh, the good old beer ball.
I want lager in a beer ball with a pump. Like, let's do it. And everyone looked at me like I was fucking crazy, man. They were like, no, we can't do that. I was like, why not? Why can't you make a beer ball? Like, I don't understand. It was
First
a
and
thing
last
once
time
before.
I had a beer bowl, I was at Fairleigh Dickinson in New Jersey, and it was on the counter. And I walk in, I go, oh, so this is a beer bowl. It's just a big box of beer with the little tap at the top. I'm like, this is awesome. And then as the night went on, the box went away. The ball started rolling around. People were like just holding it like a medicine ball, working out with
Great.
it. It was awesome. It's like one of those things. It just brings you back to good
It's
old
nostalgic.
yeah, exactly. Nostalgia. Will, before we just move on to Ryan and Melissa here for our next segment, give us, I know the plans are moving forward. I know everything's kind of, what is your anticipated opening? What are you thinking about for an opening date, opening time or season or whatever as the brewery starts to take shape?
It depends on obviously it depends on the state of New Jersey when the equipment comes in. But as of right now, I'm being realistic. I think we could really be open in August, the beginning of August.
Yeah.
Which is a short time frame for us. But
you want to hit that summer market.
Yeah, get as much of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, where we're located in Tinton Falls is a little farther
That's one of
away
my
from the
favorite beers
shore.
come out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, your favorite beers come out in the summer?
No,
fall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Start
fall,
getting
yeah,
the
me
Dunkels
too.
and the Marzens and
Yeah,
Dark lagers
is-
all day.
I love, dude. No, I was in Mexico. I was drinking Negro Modelo.
Yes.
there you go.
Well, I never knew it was a Dunkel. I didn't know that.
And
I'm
I like
this-
Dos Equis Amber too. That's one of
Yeah, I
when
mean,
I
there's
look for
something
that.
delicious. Not although I just drank it the other night. I saw Menzinger's at Starland Ballroom and got a tall boy and not as good out of a can. You got to drink it out of a bottle.
Who are the Menzingers? I never. heard of
Yeah.
them.
We
The
got
Menzingers, they're like a punk rock
No,
I'm
band.
just kidding.
They-
We're like really big fans.
Yeah,
Oh, you are?
Oh,
They
yeah.
play
They went
a
over my
hell of a
head,
show.
So I'll give you some background. Will, Peter is the metalhead of the group. Steve and I like our old school punk. I'm a let's say Bad Religion, NoFX kind of skater punk guy, and Ryan and Melissa are really all kind. I would say you're more varied than I am. In that you like, I know I hear Saves the Day a lot.
A lot of Saves the Day.
Good old New Jersey band, loved Saves the Day.
Yeah, a lot of Menzingers.
A lot of
We've had a
Menzingers.
couple beers.
Turnstile.
Yeah,
Turnstile, it's a great one.
Yeah, a
Trap
lot of
Dead
Long
Eyes.
Island bands.
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
Avalanche, Movie Life.
Oh, I am the Avalanches. Avalanche is.
Are you guys Flatliners fans?
Yeah, I like Flatliners.
Yeah,
I've seen 'em.
We have a song or two on the playlist.
God
right?
damn it, this thing.
Yeah.
I actually
I've
saw
heard of none of these bands.
the Messingers on a boat around Manhattan. They opened for Less Than Jake on a old ferry ship they do concerts on, and it went and toured around. God damn it! The
Was the one Colin Jost just bought?
no, it is not that one. This was like 2016, 15 maybe. Dude, when you have a show. Now, picture being on a ferry boat. No, I had enough.
Just give up.
Oh, yeah.
Just give up on the
Yeah.
fucking phone.
Do you want me to hold it?
No. It's the suction cup, Will. I'm trying to get it done right. It's just not working right. Yeah, I get it. No. So now
God.
I gotta lick it. I'm gonna lick it. COVID.
Yeah, lick it before you stick it.
That,
Glad you said it.
yeah, no, now it's
Made it
done.
worse.
All right, listen, Instagram.
it's 'cause you're
We're gonna
hitting
get
back.
out of here because things
Yeah.
are just getting a little too crazy here, and then we'll get you back when
Mike's
I get
getting
this
frustrated.
done. I am getting very frustrated trying to host a show while also trying to get technological analog. Almost
Throw it.
Yeah.
Throw it.
No.
Throw the
We're
fucking
gonna
thing.
Share it.
Throw it up against that.
No, that would be bad. Whoa. I don't want to destroy the studio I created. It was an awesome show on the boat.
Yeah.
Picture being on a ferry with all the rows. They were still there. So people are standing in the rows. People are up in the aisle. People right up against the It was one of those, moments where you're just like, oh, that's pretty freaking cool. I love it.
Yeah, we've done a couple of those.
Yeah, those are
Nice
fun,
show.
man.
Yeah. H2O.
Yeah. Will, what would you say is your kind of genre of choice?
Oh, it's so tough, man. That's like
'cause you guys have this
asking a
playlist.
That's like asking a parent who's their favorite kid. It's like,
We all have one. We all have a favorite.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Don't
mean,
lie.
listen,
me.
I'm a '90s baby, so I'm
There
gonna
you
say
go.
like '90s rock music always has a little place in my heart. But I also grew up like on like '90s rap and like.
Yep.
I don't know. I kind of have a very eclectic take. I even used to hate country, and my whole family lives in Virginia, and now I even find myself listening to Hank Williams Jr. So who
Yes.
the hell knows?
Listen, as we
You know?
grow older, we start to appreciate different aspects of life, and even that you go, oh, okay, I get it. I know where he's coming from. I've lived that moment. I've lived that feeling, and you start to appreciate it for sure.
The playlist, by the way, for Years of Solitude, that does seem to fit.
Does it? Good.
It has that vibe.
Yeah.
Will,
Did you guys start drinking it yet?
Yes.
we just poured it.
Boozy.
I think we're up in the warmer temperatures now, so a lot of the flavors come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely different when you drink it cold from when you
Yeah.
let it warm up.
Definitely smell the coconut.
Yeah.
Oh, you could tell the 16 pounds. Oh, sorry, the 16 hours of labor that went into toasting all this, for sure. Very good. I want to ask some questions of Melissa and Ryan, and feel free to stick around. We're going to kind of jump back and forth, and if you have any questions.
I am. I'm just gonna. I'm running low on my beverage. So
Yeah, no, anytime you want to go.
Definitely get up for emergencies such as that.
Yes. We used to do, Will, just to give you, again, some scope of the show, we used to do 4-hour shows where we would do probably like 2 or 3 breaks, like commercial breaks or music breaks or whatever. And then when we started going to like YouTube and Facebook, we would get hit for all the copyright crap. And we're like, we can't do this anymore. And then COVID kind of really just put a clamp down on, we're doing strict 2-hour shows and then we're out.
It also became tough to try and like drink 6 beers over 4 hours.
More
during
than
a
that.
fucking
We were
Monday.
drinking a lot more
on a
than that.
Monday night.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to say it was tough. It was really easy. What was tough is waking up Tuesday morning and trying to figure out your life all over again, like Groundhog's Day every 2 weeks. That was fun. Melissa, Ryan, so we had you in 2018. We were looking it up before the show.
Yep.
You were in the old version of the studio where we had you in the little round table format before the brewery was open. You had maybe 2 styles that you guys were brewing. Mm-hmm. We then had you on the show the night before you guys opened officially in 2019. I think it was, July 2019?
August. Oh,
August.
Last day of July.
Well, yeah, it was on the
'cause we
31st,
opened,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we opened on the 1st.
Can you believe that you guys been doing this?
No,
For this long
time
already?
has stopped.
Yeah.
And March.
Time has lost all meaning for everybody.
16th.
Yeah, 2020.
Have you ever heard of Peter Pan syndrome?
Where I just want to stay young.
That's like when celebrities like hit the age that they got famous.
Yeah.
And they never leave that age.
Like Avril
That
Lavigne.
explains a
how-
lot about Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
a good point.
It feels like that, but then it also feels like we've aged 25 years.
I still remember.
at the same time.
I think you sent it out on your private account, not the business account. There was something about like when, like before the shutdown happened, but everyone was very, panicky about it, and you were commenting on the amount of soap the brewery went through.
Oh yeah.
Soap.
The amount of soap we went through in the beginning of the pandemic, comparatively to what we go through now, is a little disheartening because we went through so much soap. So I'm like, oh, that's great. Everybody's washing their hands, doing.
But what were they doing before?
Exactly.
And what are they doing now?
And what are they doing now? Exactly.
I'm like neurotic, germaphobe, like OCD, which is great for brewing beer.
Yes.
Not great for realizing these things.
I also noticed myself, because we're both crazy with the germs, that because we hear the hand dryer when somebody leaves the bathroom, if the hand dryer doesn't go off. So
You
I'm
just
like
cut
either-
that fucking person off.
I'm like either they're not drying their hands
Or
they're
they're doing this, which is
Yeah.
you see them do that.
Yeah.
Which is like that's cool, but like
Half.
Yeah.
when
You're halfway
when,
there.
when it's
Didn't a
neither.
report come out in the middle of COVID that like hand dryers were less sanitary than like paper towels because they're blowing?
Yeah. They,
germs
all
on
over
your
Oh,
the
really?
face.
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
So I'll say this.
I thought I read. I don't know.
No, you might be
Makes
right
sense.
because at my school, during the lockdown, they actually replaced all of the paper towel dispensers with those Dyson blowers,
yeah.
right? But there's no catch to the water that's dripping off your hands. And if you look at any place, public restrooms, private, whatever, the wall is just covered
Yeah,
like
with
mildew.
Yeah.
and that is
on the
definitely
list.
the germs just fermenting on the wall.
Yeah.
And no one ever cleans that up. And I go, this is just unsanitary. I actually had them reinstall all the paper towel dispensers in our building. I said, this is not, you can't do this. First of all, the kids aren't fully drying. They have no patience. They're doing this, doing that,
That's for sure.
and they're coming back out. So that's not sanitary. Number two, the amount of water on the floor, they're not wiping it up in between classes. The teachers aren't wiping up in the staff bathroom. Put the paper towels back. I know it's an expense, but it's a necessary expense. And if you have that in there, you're gonna have less time in the janitorial area, the custodial area, trying to clean that crap up, and you probably have less, issues with grime and mildew on the tile walls.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, we
And
gotta
I
hit
see
that
it.
with some bleach every.
Yeah, you got just dump the
Every day.
bleach in the room
Yeah.
and bleach bomb every 2 days.
Our issue is with the paper towels is I don't trust people to not flush it down. For
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Our 130-year-old plumbing system. So
That's
it's
a legitimate concern.
Yeah, it's a little.
Are we on? You guys on sewers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. All right, so at least it's not a cesspool. It's going to overflow and
yeah,
just
no.
back up. But
Nightmare.
the piping,
Yeah.
it's old, probably iron cast system or something like that in
Yep.
the village. Yeah, it's just no way. There's no way. And it used to be, and we talked about this a couple times on the show. It used to be an old meat market, right? It used to have a butcher
shop.
there.
Butcher,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And then what was it before that? It was bicycle shop or in between bicycle and
Yeah, it was a meat market for 70 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
Wow.
Yeah, and then it
So
was
many dead
like-
cows.
So many dead cows.
And
You
so
can
much blood
imagine.
went through
There's
those
still
pipes.
hooks on the
Yeah,
ceiling
you can see the hooks where they hung the cows.
they hang plants there
Yeah. Yeah.
and
It's like-
stringer lights. And then I'm like, I forget, and I'm like every day like cleaning stuff at the brewery, the floor drain. I'm like, so much blood went down this drain.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. And people will come in and they'll be like, I could still remember the cows hanging from the hooks in the back. And we're like,
Thanks.
So do you, yeah,
thank you.
Like, this place is haunted, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the fucking ghoul.
by
I'm
cows.
the hauntier, man.
There is a number of things that have taken shape over these last 3 years in the village. Give us the perspective to anyone that's listening about all the stuff that's been going on in the village over these last few years since you guys have opened.
Oh, man. Where do you want us to start?
I know. It's amazing. We were talking about this really early on, how much growth is going to be available to us. It has grown.
It's grown.
So many things
Yeah.
have opened, some new businesses. The Lindenhurst is now seen like the Babylons and the Patchogues and the local big spots.
And the Farmingdales.
And the Farmingdales. It's just another spot on the map. How's it been for you guys? Have you seen that? And you've seen it firsthand.
Yep. Yeah, we pretty much experienced it as it went. When we opened up, Joe from WA was already opened
WA
up.
Works.
Yep, WA Meadworks, shout out. Billy
Bro.
from Restoration, he
Yeah.
was really at the helm of opening, revitalizing the town and
Something
opening up
new.
the first spot.
The first of this new wave
Yeah, the new wave.
to attract other businesses from coming in.
Yeah, and I can honestly say that if it wasn't for Billy from Restoration and Restoration in general,
Yeah.
I don't think any of these other businesses would have opened.
They really were the trailblazers
They were the
for the town,
trailblazers,
for sure.
100%. And he is a devoted Lindenhurst resident. He's lived here for almost his entire life, and you know, he was really an inspiration to us to want to stay in our hometown. So it was just very inspiring to be alongside him, be alongside Joe and Roger for WA Meadworks, and then to see everybody else come along the way. It's been really nice.
It fully exploded. I love my village. I'm glad I took residence in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure house values have gone up just because of the need and
Don't remind me.
I know. You guys sold too soon, didn't you?
We are actively looking for a house right now.
Oh
and
my
it is,
God.
it's
No,
stressful.
and
good
so
Lord.
We
case
have the
in
best
point.
timing
Stressful.
with everything.
Yeah, we have really great timing. It's
So
like just,
you
should've
guys
been born 5 years
are
ago.
you took residence at the Well, which is
Yep.
a great new
It's
complex.
not the well anymore.
yeah.
Oh, what is it called
yeah,
now?
We'll get into that.
All right.
I'll drink a little bit more.
Yeah,
of
then
that.
we'll start talking about that.
Give you a little bit more of that, but
Well, to give you some I guess guidance on this. So there's a huge residence development that was built right by the train tracks in hopes to attract more people into the village, address things like parking situation, address new home prices, I guess at the time. But it was finished, I think, about a year and a half ago, right?
it was finished officially not even a year ago.
Okay, so it's not even a year ago.
We were actually the first people to move in there.
Yeah, you guys were
Yeah.
kind of trailblazers of that.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of people taking residence in there. I don't know how it is now. Well, I guess we'll find out in a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is an attractive place for first-time home buyers or renters or anything like that. But it has brought a lot of foot traffic to the village. And that's one, think about a small village and then throw 5,000 new residents in it.
Yeah, 260
I mean,
apartments.
how big is the village
260
previously?
apartments. Wow.
261.
261.
Yeah,
Jesus.
our village has previously, I think the population was like 30,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot, like a percentage. That's a lot of people to
It's
bring
a lot of
into.
people. Yeah.
That's like
So-
our business model is just, focusing on just like, being in the main street and just people coming every week. It's the same people, the town's brewery.
Yeah.
What size system do you guys have?
3.5.
3.5 barrel.
Will, don't take all my questions away.
I'm curious because like they're where we want to be and maybe where they want to be. Like I feel like we're on opposite
Yeah.
sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You guys started with a 1-barrel system, though, right? You were brewing small batches.
I was doing
Oh,
15 gallons.
Oh, you were?
10
Okay.
gallons, like when I was homebrewing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we
But-
had 3.5 barrel, but yeah, I use Kvike yeast for everything. So I had different strains for different things. And the beer ferments out in 2 days.
Yeah.
So a lot more flexibility than traditional brewing.
Because you
Monday
got to
through
turn and
lager
burn.
yeast.
You got to get that barrel system moving and right into the brights and get them going, right?
Yep.
So you got a new tank. I know.
So we got a 7
about
barrel tank, yeah.
7-barrel tank. You're doing double brew days, I guess.
Yeah.
So double batching. And are you still in the walk-in? Are you still kind of letting it rest and settle there, or are you're out?
Yeah, the new tank's on glycol.
Okay, so it is on.
Ah,
okay.
okay.
But the other ones, that was like the biggest lag time. Is
Yeah.
then, like going from whatever room temp to.
It was tough to lager anything. I
crash,
remember we were
yeah.
talking about that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh boy, yeah.
Well, it's like I saved the time of fermentation and then lager like in bright tanks inside the colder room.
Negates all of that.
And let it. Yeah. So that's why now.
But then you can go and brew again, though. That's the
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah. And then like what we do a lot of New England IPAs and stuff, so letting the dry hops and all that.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk about the things that I've been seeing recently. That's not what I'm looking at, by the way. You guys have been posting a lot about French pressing, all sorts of crazy shit in the beer. I think this is like the newest kind of Randall concept, right? I mean, you guys have a
it's
Randall.
A mini Randall. We have a Randall.
Yeah, and you guys have always done, gummy bears and things like that through the Randall.
Yeah,
but
cereal.
only recently have I seen things like Lucky Charms
Yeah.
into a stout and what looks like snack mix. Snack mix
It's
into
the best. I almost brought it here for you.
Get out of here. What is going
So
on? What do you
cheesy.
Is it? Oh my goodness. So what
That's
do you
party. No, that was our April Fool's joke.
It was. All right.
Yeah.
We were like that, or put our like dog treats that we give to the dogs in the tasting room,
Oh,
and then like
it's a little grainy.
yeah for April Fools. But then people think that the party mix,
People
the
are
Utz party
legit.
mix.
I didn't realize it was April 1st when you were posting that. I probably saw it a day later or something.
Yep.
And
I'm
I
glad I'm
went,
not the only one that got fucking take it.
Yeah, you got to take it by sled.
Abruzzo texted me and he's like, "You've gone too far." I was like, "It's called innovation, bro."
That's I was like, no way. And then you did a video of it slowly. I'm like, they really doing this? I gotta know what that's like. And apparently, it's not like anything because
I mean, you could try it if you want to come
Yeah.
by.
But the Lucky Charms was not
that,
an April Fool's joke.
no,
That was
we
real.
did that.
Real.
Yeah, well, like
Yeah, it's
we're
delicious.
Irish American, whatever.
Yeah.
So like, I always do a lot of Irish styles, and when we were like homebrewing and stuff, I would have parties, and on my kegerator, hazy IPA, stout. Use a French press with the Lucky Charms for like our parties and stuff for St. Patrick's Day. So
How does that turn out? Does it really add like
the thing is,
depth to it?
so with
sweetness?
that, what's cool is like with the French press over a Randall is that it's like this, user experience. The longer you let it sit, the more you're gonna get that bottom of the
Yes.
bowl, like milk cereal bowl thing going on. But if you like
the
hit it
best
right
part of
away, you can get, you're gonna get like the mild, like the whatever the oat or whatever the wheat is cereal, and then the marshmallows. So it all depends. Like we have people that come and then we tell them like, yeah, you can let it sit, and then they'll let it just sit and like marinate and absorb, and then they'll order other beer while just staring at it. And I'm like, oh my god,
As it's slowly expanding in the bottom of the
Exactly.
French press. I mean, cool ideas. The whole concept of what you guys have been doing is turnover, right? You guys have been throwing out a bunch of different styles over the last few years. The stuff that's really stuck. What have been those flagship brews that you've been doing the most of?
Well, yeah, our blonde ales,
Yeah.
which is just
Surprisingly.
simple smash beer, single malt, single hop. It's 2-row and Centennial hops with our House Kvike blend. And then I'll dose kegs or brighter or whatever for like pumpkin, cranberry, name of any fruit or whatever. Do different variants. So they're 5%, simple, easy. Then there's obviously Rainbow Cookie Stout, which I'm gonna have a Rainbow Cookie coffin one day.
Yeah.
Soon I'm gonna be
That sounds
a
delicious.
Flavor Flav with a giant chain of like a rainbow cookie or something. Like,
Gotta do it.
Like Flava Flav.
Where do you get the rainbow cookies from, by the way?
so that we get them from a place in Islip
Oh,
Yeah.
because we were doing different local.
You need a
bakeries.
lot of them, right?
Patsy's
need a
has
lot of
fucking
them.
great.
Yeah.
rainbow
Yeah, we
cookies.
love them, but they're not.
Amazing. They don't hold
We
up
garnish
on
the beer with.
Because they're not chocolate wrapped all the way around,
They're
right?
not chocolate wrapped all the way around, and they're very. I don't want to say the word moist, but they're very moist.
Like spongy, yeah.
They're spongy.
Yeah, yeah,
So when you put them on the toothpick,
They just fall
we
apart.
garnish
Yeah.
them.
Got it.
Because again,
that makes sense.
It's why would you go to a specific brewery? People like craft beer, they want to try new stuff. Let's just have the best experience of do different shit.
Yeah, well, they brew a stout with rainbow cookie. It is
love
one
it.
of the most enlightening moments when you drink. You go, that is rainbow
So
cookie.
we garnish it too.
Right,
So you
so-
eat the cookie and you taste it, and
It's almost like chocolate pairing, right?
spot
I mean, it's like
on, yeah.
Exactly.
But then
pairing
it's
with it.
we got a lot of different age groups and whatever, and then a lot of oh my god, it tastes like the cookie. And then it's like, yeah, it's called Rainbow Cookie Stout, Like,
I hope it tastes like
duh.
like I know, chocolate, raspberry, and almond. Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Now, are you guys using extracts with that in addition to the cookie itself, or just straight up the cookies?
no. So there's no cookie in the actual beer.
Okay, so you're not doing any of that. No.
No, the beer is just like a simple stout.
Yeah.
But focusing on the dark grains, but the dehusked, like, roasted grains to get that like decadent chocolate flavor. Then yeah, we use Maris on its base, as we talked about Maris before.
Yeah.
Great base grain for that. And then raspberry puree and almond.
Bingo.
So it's just simple.
Yeah.
like almond extracts or almonds. Like
It's like a syrup, like an
Oh,
organic
okay.
thing. Yeah, I just found that to be like the best.
Like a puree, but like just
And then
Yeah,
has some
it's like,
sustenance
It's kind
to
of
it.
like a light version of an extract.
Right.
okay.
Because like an extract is more alcohol based.
Yeah, and you're going to get even more sugar with that as well.
It's like
Now-
a maple syrup kind of consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
got it.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the extract we didn't want that like tannin you get from that leftover alcohol.
Yeah.
yeah, or the
That
fake
burn. Yeah, the fake.
whatever.
Yeah,
and
you get
like
that.
so we don't distro the beer, so I don't have to worry about you guys with Steve,
Right,
the
yeah.
whole story, and then with the with the Yada and all that.
Yeah.
like, it's like a worry. Like, wait, did this are they cleaning the line, or is someone next going to have like
Yeah, gonna have
a nut
a nut
allergy and die
allergy.
at some bar or restaurant? Like,
I mean, one can hope.
We can only pray for being
Only
stupid
the
enough.
strong survive.
Yeah.
no, I'm saying it's like that keg will kick, and then they don't. Bars, restaurants generally don't clean their lines.
Nope.
They
Between-
should call
Well,
Rosie's
that's-
Grab Solutions,
That's
though,
who they should
and
call.
get their
Yeah,
fucking
every
lines
time.
cleaned.
Yep.
Especially when you have like volatile, because there is a large brewery that is Anheuser-Busch owned that has been doing a rainbow cookie. I mean, our friends at Dubco, they have theirs, which is a great one.
Yep. Yeah.
The John Hands, the John Fraioli
Yeah.
special.
Yes,
Johnny Hands.
that's right.
That's kind of like that. Pool Boy, Bobby does a good one too.
Oh, that's right.
we're
Doesn't
all-
he do a sour with it too, though? Doesn't
He
do
does
it?
everything.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
that guy.
He looks
I
like a
thought
raspberry.
I'm like crazy with creating stuff, and you go every time you talk to him or you go there. There's like he's got 5 versions of it, like of anything you could think of. Like he's killing it, with the ciders and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Him in Motion too now.
Yeah.
Motion's,
Yeah, they've been
really-
doing
yeah,
more and more
Meads
a
stuff.
lot of innovative stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Motion's
have a
killing
quick
it.
question for you guys.
Go
Are
for
you
it,
guys allowed to brew ciders in New York?
We aren't at the moment under our license. It's
Our
a different
current license, yeah.
Okay.
We have a
Um,
microbrewer license.
Yeah.
So it's
we're-
similar to New Jersey then. We're not allowed to brew ciders, or we can brew hard seltzers because they're malt based, but we can't brew ciders.
You can get a license to do both.
Yep.
And
I
there's
don't think we can in New Jersey. I think you have to be one or the other.
Oh no, yeah, I'm saying in New York, yeah, you
In
can.
New York,
New York
you
you
can.
can.
There's like a tax or whatever incentive where it's a farm brewery license. So if you use a certain percentage of New York State grain, you can then brew cider. You can have guest taps from other breweries. You can have New York State
wine
spirits
and spirits, right?
and
Yeah.
wine. So
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't in New York State, aren't you? Couldn't you technically like start a brewery in your backyard and have people come drink your beer? Or
Yeah, you could do that
that's how I
anytime.
did. That's how we started.
I don't
No,
know how
but
legal it is.
yeah.
I mean, you can.
doesn't
you can
Bli-
shoot off fireworks in New York too, but that
Yeah.
doesn't make it legal.
Well, no, Blind Bat doesn't he?
No,
he
I was
doesn't.
talking about legally. Like I
Yeah.
thought you
Oh.
legally.
No,
could do
yeah,
that.
you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Blind
it all
Bat brews
depends.
in
You
his
still
house.
have to. Yeah, well, he has like a brew shed barn thing.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
pretty cool. But that's like zoned and designated and like all the legal purposes there.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But and then they have an external
Tasting room, yeah.
storefront tasting room, little restaurant thing going on, which is cool.
But long
is,
story
yeah.
short, you can. You are legally allowed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to go through all the permitting and
You have
stuff.
to-
It's like you would do it for a regular
Fight with your neighbors
Yeah.
in single
Well, I mean,
combat.
yeah, if they complain and then it doesn't go through. That's a whole.
The
thing.
key is usually just give your neighbors free beer, man, and then
That's what we did.
give them beer.
They will not appreciate the free beer and the invite to come on over
Yeah.
and listen to some
Yep.
good tunes and relax. You guys have had a hell of a journey. You
Still
guys,
going.
yeah,
forever.
that's it. You guys have the new tank in.
Yeah.
Any other expansions to the brew house in the near future?
So yeah, I got the new tank. We got the Gladwell hooked up, and then we have a small canning line that will be operating. very
Where?
Ooh.
Fucking where are you putting
Where
that
are
in?
you putting-
It's
on Main Street.
no, so we got it's what WA Meatworks has. It's a Wild Goose Gosling. It's a single head filler.
Okay.
It's really
Okay.
it's the size of this table.
Oh, okay.
That's a nice canning line though. 'Cause
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
expand on that. You can build it out. We looked at that too.
Well,
Yeah,
they've
so
been hand canning in their crowler machine
Oh,
for
I don't even thousands and thousands of
Thousands.
because again
That's
we
how
don't
we got
have
through
employees. It's just
Yeah.
us.
Right.
thoughts and
and
prayers.
yeah.
me brewing, cleaning, bartending. Yeah, it's labor of love or no choice.
Dude, I understand doing it by hand. When we first started doing our, we were 100% distribution. So we pick up the beer at the manufacturer in our box truck and bring it back to our warehouse. Well, we did not have a forklift. We acquired an old conveyor belt that you would see at like a post office for packages out of some guy off a barn in Pennsylvania. And it would take us legitimately 4 people 3 hours we would have to take every palletized case, 250 cases on a 30 barrel batch, and
Yeah.
individually lift one end on the edge of the box truck so it was slanted, and we'd have to slowly throw each case into the warehouse and repalletize them.
Oh man.
That
get
reminds
it,
me of like
man.
watching
Yeah, that's-
Instagram videos of like modern engineering, people doing
That's
like
crazy.
crazy shit with backhoes and stuff like
Trying
that.
to
How
make
they
it
get
work.
off,
Insane.
how they make things. It's just the ingenuity and the manpower. It makes you think about how they build pyramids and all sorts of crazy stuff back in the day. It's
If the
whatever you can
Egyptians
put
had
your
a
mind to.
forklift, man, they would have taken over the whole world.
If we go back in time and we just give the Egyptians forklifts, that's the end of civilization as we know it. I find it amazing what
If only the ancient aliens had brought a forklift.
just a
right?
forklift. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And a forklift license, because God forbid the pharaohs got their
gotta
hands
be
on
forklift-
some
you gotta be certified.
licensing. Yeah, you get-
God forbid OSHA found out.
yeah. The concept of what you guys, you craft brewers, are capable of doing when you put your minds to it, what you want to do to move your business, what you want to do because of the love of the industry, actually astounds us, and even astounds Steve to this day. Modernizing everything you can, figuring out a way around how to do this, how to do that, how to get through COVID, and how to
You
make
have to
things
figure it out.
sustain.
Sink or swim.
You guys
know?
kind of made that happen. I mean, I tried to get to you as much as I could and spread the love around wherever I could. You guys had a hell of a time trying to get, COVID business moving by just selling out of the storefront, hand canning things. I know I walked by a few times and you guys are in there pressing the freaking,
Carton machine.
yeah, I was going to say the October machine. That's what I was looking for.
Well, October's the brand, yeah.
Right.
That
And being able to just pump out 4-packs, hand labeling, hand everything. It's just it's bananas. So that canning line you guys looking open these because we're talking then. That canning line is going to save how much time? Like, what is the
Yeah,
efficiency?
so I could do the three and a half barrels in an hour and a half.
Hour and how
So
long?
that-
How long
yeah,
would it really
30
take
cases.
you by hand?
By hand? Oh, forget
4
about
hours, 5
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
4 or 5 hours.
We've done it before.
Well, yeah, we've done.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So right away, get back to brewing, right? I mean, you're taking it out, you getting
Yeah,
in the
that's
lines.
the plan. Yeah. So when we built our cold room like ourselves, so I oversized that. We had that fridge, so I have plenty of cold storage. Just so.
Yeah, they
Start
took the
cranking.
restrictor plate off the Red Dragon, Will, and they got the air conditioner running at a smooth. What is it?
You guys use the Cool Bot.
Cool buy, hell yeah.
Yeah, so do we, man. I mean,
best.
we have a cold box at our, but the new place we're going into, like I said, we took over Jug Handle's old building. They have a not prefab. They built it themselves.
Yeah.
A cold box, and we just installed 2 brand new 25,000 BTU AC units ourselves with the Cool
Yeah,
Bot, man.
Nice, hell yeah.
And that really you oversize that because now you can have backup storage for the canning unit, right?
Yeah.
And you're just stacking there.
Yep.
Get ready for.
That's the plan.
Are you planning on doing just local distro to some of the spots, or that's just coming out of the tasting room?
Well, obviously, like the most money you'll ever make is selling
Through the
direct to
tasting room,
consumer,
yeah.
and also, we like our customers, and you know what I mean. Like it's like that connection. That connection's like one of the best parts of brewing beer, drinking beer, hanging out.
And
That's
how
what I
has
do.
that reception been? Obviously, you've taken over a little bit of the lot next to it, so you have a little
Yeah, the
outdoor
little side
space
yard.
now. That was big, huge.
That's massive. Yeah, we needed that, and then especially with COVID protocols and all that.
yeah,
Sure.
the
And
outdoor
now-
stuff.
Yeah, the
is-
tap room's, small. So
Yeah. Again, the tap it was tasting room. It's for people to stand and cram in there and whatever. And then with COVID, 6 feet apart, everything and this and that, it was tough.
that would have been impossible. Impossible business
was-
model to have 5 people in the tasting room, which is pretty much
Yeah.
kind of where you'd be.
Well, we had like 28 people in the whole building.
Right.
'Cause we had people in the brew house,
Yeah,
2
yeah.
tables back there, but it was just tough.
That's what you do. That's what I'm getting at. In that you guys want it so bad, kind of just bring that product to everybody. Pass that back down here. I don't think I've had that in a little while. Is this the first time you brewed this? No,
Yeah.
it is.
This one, yeah.
I feel like you name all your stuff like very like radical things.
Yeah, of course.
I've had a double from you before though, have I not?
I think
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Yes, I've definitely.
It's all the same
Maybe
beer.
rights and
I'm telling you.
rituals.
Oh yeah, of course, right.
It's all the same beer. It's just different ratios. It's just your mosaic.
Don't tell the secrets. It's just a little bit of here and there, and we can rename it and repackage it.
Treehouse who?
Yeah.
Who's that? Give us a little breakdown on this. This is a new beer, Constant Chaos,
Yeah, it's just,
double dry hop, 8.4.
a modern.
So you're not really known for your 8% and higher. You're blonde, and some of your
Yeah,
stouts
so
are in
us with the since tasting room and whatever. Yeah, we focus on session beers,
yeah.
but a lot of the IPAs and stuff. I like the doubles and then the triple IPAs.
Yeah.
So kind of, I feel like that's a a good medium there.
Juicy. I get that nice
Yeah.
little splash.
It smells great.
Give me the
Yeah.
breakdown of this. What are we using here?
So Pilsner.
I don't know why I'm
base
using my
malt.
sexy voice. I apologize for that. Ryan,
Please
tell me
stop.
all about that.
Yeah, Pilsner base malt, flaked oats, malted oat, white wheat, our house Kvike blend, which is the yeast, so that gives them a ton of fruity esters.
Yeah.
Which also hides a lot of alcohol. The alcohol, there.
You do an 8%er and not even feel it.
Yeah, I mean we've done 12.5, 13, and you don't. Yeah, because the yeast comes the way it formed. It can really handle high ABV stuff. It prefers that. It struggles with session beers. It's backwards than every other yeast out there. Literally, it's its own class.
Do you guys use that yeast for all your beer?
Yeah.
Are you're repropagating it, right? Repropagating?
Cool.
that the
Yeah,
word?
like cone to cone. So when the yeast
Yeah.
drops, and then so I have a blend for IPAs, blonde ale, stouts, just a little more fruit forward, and then I have the Lutra from it's from Omega, and that's it's super clean lager
Yeah.
it's like the pseudo lager.
Yeah, and your lagers pair very well with these too. That
Yeah.
that
So-
yeast.
Again, when you know how to, it's like everything else. Every style, every ingredient has its nuances. But yeah, I mean, I'm super sensitive to diacetyl and sulfur.
Yeah.
From lagers, so I
As
hate.
you should be.
I don't like traditional lagers really. That's why I'm That's just funny we said before. I'm always, and as if you come to 27A, you'll probably see my friends coming and we're just can sharing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all hazy IPAs. We drink some other stuff, or they try to
The
bring out
Haze
whatever.
Boys in the house.
That's who they are. Yeah.
Joe told me about a little story, by the way. Joe from WA Mead Works, right there in Lindenhurst as well. By the way, Will, we have a mead brewery or mead works.
Meadery.
Honey wine.
Meadery.
Yep.
Honey wine, that's right, in our town as well. So we have now a total of 3 breweries and a meadery in the town of Lindenhurst. And it is the
And
most...
a lot of drunks.
and a lot of
Certain
bars.
places sells 15% stouts. So
Yes.
people get a little.
Sounds like I got to visit Lindenhurst.
Yeah.
It's definitely
come down.
on the map.
There's
now.
a lot to see here in Lindenhurst. The Joe told me about a bottle share that he was doing recently that he didn't even make it to the end of for whatever reason. Interesting enough, it wasn't on your traditional meat. He was drinking just straight, let's say just 7% hazies. And when I saw him, he was drinking a lager. And I said, "What's with the lagers?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I can't drink hazies right now. He's off them." He's like, "I'm on the lagers."
Wait,
I'm like, all
Rizzo?
right. Yeah, he's a lager guy, I think, overall.
Yeah,
but,
he doesn't like.
But he
doing
doesn't
IPAs.
let anybody know. He's a haze boy deep down. I could s-
Sometimes. No, he's a seltzer boy now.
Oh, get out of here.
Boy.
Well, you know what? That's what you get from meaderies. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's a natural progression right to seltzer.
Yeah.
Is he doing Loverboy or Hell's Kitchen from Great South
No,
Bay?
27A seltzer.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, using the Kvike yeast, it gives it a different flavor profile, mouthfeel.
Is it
everything.
there more of the maltiness of it then? What comes out in those?
in what?
I'm not a seltzer guy, so you
Yeah.
really you
That's
gotta,
why I was refused to them or whatever, and then I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it my way. So I used the house yeast, and I it just gives it this awesome soft, and then the esters from that, it's sometimes that's plans too. We want to do is offer just a base seltzer
yeah.
without any the flavorings or anything, just because it just showcases the yeast because it just
It has that sweet fruit.
it's
Yeah.
dry, so there's no
Tropical-y
Yeah.
kind of pineapple.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A pineapple I get for sure, especially in this. That comes out a lot with this.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's kind of brings me back to a Finback does that pineapple IPA that was very good. I think Sensei did a collab with them with the pineapple
Beach
IPA.
Street.
Yeah, that's
Brand new
got
it is.
that feeling to it. It's very good. And you guys did a collaboration with all of the people in Lindenhurst,
Yep.
including San City and WA. That was in your neighborhood, or
Won't you be my neighbor?
won't you be my neighbor? I knew it was a Mr. Rogers play word. What was that breakdown? How did that go? What was the essence of that? Obviously, getting all together with Kevin and Joe and bringing
Yeah.
everything together.
We were talking
kinda
about it for a while, and then
celebrating Lindenhurst Pride, right? I mean, so what was the process done over at San City?
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what went into that.
So yeah, we did a 20 barrel batch. Joe brought the honey. It's a honey brown ale, and then we brewed it, and then we had it in all our spots, canned it, had a beer dinner at Restoration where every course came with a different beer from one of us or mead, and then Yeah, pretty dope.
That's crazy. Will, we got someone on the phone. You might be able to hear him. This is the Word with Mike Pete and Steve GovsRadio.com. Who do we got on the phone?
I fucking love seltzers.
I knew it. I fucking knew it, Joe.
How'd you know it was Joe?
They were talking about how I like seltzers, so I had to come in. I had to call in and defend myself.
When did you get into seltzers?
You know what it is? Sometimes I just don't want to drink 100 beers.
Why?
So I'll just
I'm
drink
with you.
9% weird Ryan seltzers.
Will says he's with you. We got Will from Twin Lights Brewing in New Jersey on the Zoom tonight. He can hear you, but I don't think you can hear him. I think that's the catch to it. So I'll just repeat whatever he says. Really quick, Joe, you and I were talking on Friday, and you said, I'm just going with a straight lager. I don't feel like the hazies. I would assume from that conversation that, you were big into the IPAs and the hazies lately.
I'm just over IPAs. Nothing against everyone who drinks them. I just want 4.5% clean lagers. I want to drink 7 beers. I don't want to drink 8.5% New
Summer is
England
coming,
anymore.
Joe. Summer is coming. That's when it's.
Listen, that's not because I'm always going to be fat, so that's not.
You get
No,
back,
that's
back to
no.
CrossFit.
Summer is that that sessionable lager kind of season for me. Anyway, that's what
Lawnmower beers.
If I had a
Lawnmower
choice,
beers,
if it was
yeah.
available here, I would drink
Dude.
Utica Club every day for the rest of my life.
Go ahead, Will.
That was our first. Our first ever beer we ever released was our lager.
That's what I would
First one we
drink.
made.
Yeah, their lager was really
And
good.
the first guy to ever review it on
What's
Untappd
going on with you
literally
clowns?
said lawnmower beer.
Yeah.
So
Oh, really?
that's what you want is lawnmower beer.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted.
Lawnmower
There you
beer,
go.
man.
Yeah.
Joe, sorry.
What are you guys up to? How's the show going? I've been watching the whole time.
Thanks, buddy. I had to take it off Instagram because my little suction cup thing was having a real tough go at it.
He tried licking it and it didn't work.
That definitely did not work, and it feels like it's sticky now, but we'll see what happens if I can get back on. Joe, when we go silent, Will's talking on the Zoom. You can't hear him, but he can hear you, just so you know. So
Gotcha. I mean, I'm sitting outside with it. It's delayed on my computer, so it's on my computer.
Gotcha.
I'm sitting outside with my dog, running around.
How's Hazel doing? She's good?
She's good.
All right.
I just didn't want to sit inside anymore.
All right, do me a favor. I want you to ask something to Ryan and Melissa that you would think that would make them give you a truthful answer to the question you're about to ask. You know them probably better than anyone at this point.
No, I can't go there because
No, I'm not
was
saying
waiting-
anything
No,
embarrassing.
Joe, we're very close with Joe.
I know. We're not talking about anything embarrassing. Just give him a nice softball
There were
question to
certain
start.
expansion of Lindenhurst questions. I was waiting for the tongue biting to come with.
The tongue biting. What is that?
Nothing.
All right. Well, there you go.
Awkward.
We,
Pause.
we have our publicist here. You
Yeah.
know, she
You gotta make sure everything's PC.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Speaking of gummies, you guys brew a blonde ale with a giant gummy bear.
5-pound gummy bear, right?
5-pound gummy bear. That is you're taking your base blonde, right, with the gummy bear. What was the thought process of that?
I
Go
just
Crate.
create beers and just try to take stuff from other things. And I don't know. I saw this giant gummy bear once, and I was like, oh, we should throw it in a kettle and sacrifice it to the brew gods.
I'm pretty sure this originated when we went to Hershey Park.
Okay.
Like 4 years ago. And he saw the giant gummy bear that they had in the gift shop of Hershey Park. And
Okay.
He's like, we should brew a beer with that. And I was like, yeah, we probably should. And then that's what happened.
And then we did.
And then we did.
So we
Joe,
went
have you been
Halloween.
there for one of the rituals of the sacrificial gummy bear?
I have not. I was never invited.
Is there an incantation read
That's
before
our-
the gummy bear dies,
That's a Tom
or
from Sand City thing.
What's that?
That's a Tom from Sand City thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tom comes helps out
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that stuff.
Tom, by the way, is B3.
Free.
Yep.
He was on the Instagram live before saying all accolades for the 27A crew. Joe, over the years that you've known Ryan and Melissa, what have you seen from the brewery that really stands out in your mind?
I just think they're really good for the community. I think they're super community based. I think they treat their guests very well. I think it's a fun place to hang out. It's just when you go there, you have you always get a good experience. There's always a good vibe. There's always a family feeling when you go in there.
And
where
good music.
everyone kind of knows each other. It's almost Cheers if you will.
Ah,
Where
Are
you walk in there all the time, it's a lot of the same people. sitting at the bar, drinking beers, hanging out. So
Are you
it's,
there, Norm?
It's always like a really relaxing like vibe. I usually go there after I close.
Right. I think you purposely set your hours so then you can leave and go over to 27A.
I mean, it's a little bit of that.
I cannot confirm nor deny such allegations.
No, we're also a super niche product, and people don't stay very us as late too, which is actually kind of nice.
You were very busy this weekend. I had a lot of back and forth through the village. I noticed both you guys had a lot of people in and out. It was a beautiful weekend. People were taking advantage of the outdoor seating, the picnic tables.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Like I said, we're niche, and people don't stay as late by us, which sometimes we feel good because it lets me get out and go visit everyone else.
Joe, hold on a second. We got someone else calling in. This is the Word with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com. Who do we got on the phone?
This is Mike. Ryan and Melissa will know who I am.
Well, you're calling from Great South Bay, so I saw that. I went, who is this
Oh,
guy?
he's calling on his company phone.
Yes, he is.
I have the podcast on my personal phone. But, no, we are like Cheers at 27A, but our Norm is a man named Greg.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Greg, tell us a little about Greg for a moment.
Greg. He's like our dad. All of our dads.
He's an older gentleman.
He's an older
Yeah, he's
gentleman.
older.
Frequents a lot.
Actually, I think
Yeah.
it's the same age as my dad.
Yeah.
He's like an old metalhead.
Yeah,
He's
oh,
really
really?
Good, he's really good at like guitar. He's been in a bunch of
Very
metal
talented
bands.
musician.
Really?
Very
And he's
talented.
been in a bunch of like Grateful Dead. Like he's like all about metal and then like jam band. And yeah, he's actually played the Gazebo before with his band.
Really? Okay.
This summer there was like thousands of people. Like it was crazy.
Will, to give you some perspective on this one, in the village, we have this little park in the center of town with a gazebo, and they set up a band shell in the parking lot, right adjacent to the park. And over the summer, they have some bands that play all night. Again, brings foot traffic to the village, brings people to local businesses. So I keep saying it, but it's a great little town, man. I fucking love my town.
Maybe want to move there, man, but I don't think I can afford a house.
Trust me, Ryan and Melissa are having a tough time, man. It's not easy.
Hammocks in the
here.
brewery.
I wanna
Let's
compete
go.
with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. You could put up one of those mini houses. People live in those tiny houses.
I
that's what they call
literally
them.
said that today.
Yeah?
We went and
Bro,
saw a
I'm
house
6'3".
Yeah,
This
yeah.
tiny house is not my
No, no,
future,
no.
man.
I'm 6'2". I hear you, man. There's not a queen bed in this world that can house my feet. That's my problem. I need a king if I'm going to sleep comfortably.
For real.
California king,
Mm-hmm.
just so I have distance from my wife. Just stop rolling near me, and then I got full sleep. Joe, Mike, you guys, Mike, maybe you can weigh in. What have you seen over the last few years from 27A?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I caught on the podcast late, but from what I heard, you guys surmised it pretty well. I mean, now especially with Sand City being down the road and Root and Branch on its way, I think there's going to be quite an interesting dynamic to see kind of where Ryan's hazies land amongst the group of people that generally kind of frequent those establishments. I think up until now, Lindenhurst is such like a session town from what we've seen.
Yeah.
I know Ryan knows his number one beer is a Rainbow Cookie Stout that comes in at 5% alcohol. So there's
Is he
definitely
saying
something
you're going to have to
that.
up your game? Is that what he's trying to get at?
No. I think his game's there. I just think nobody knows yet.
Ah,
Yeah, our New Englands
the
are like
discovery.
our least like
popular thing.
yeah.
But I think that's the town, though, too, right? I mean,
Well,
we're talking about.
that's what Mike's getting at.
Yeah,
a
okay,
lot of
all right,
people
so-
like they want to come to 27A. They want to have 5 beers,
Right.
then go to dinner,
Right.
or vice versa.
Man.
Not
Yeah,
like-
that makes sense, Mike. You're right, because Root and Branch will come in with ridiculous 7, 8, 9% beers. If you just want a nice, crisp, clean lager, or you want a blonde ale, or you want, like you said, a Rainbow Cookie Stout, there's only one place to get those in town.
Absolutely.
Mike, how long have you known Ryan and Melissa?
We've been going to the brewery probably since when did Bakudo? So 3 years, 2 years or so. We actually, my girlfriend and I worked at Bakudo when they opened.
Ah, okay.
And then we met Ryan and Melissa through that, and then obviously we all got to survive this lovely pandemic together.
And really, that brought a lot of the people, the businesses in town together, right? You guys came together for a beer dinner that packaged several beers from the breweries in the town, several different, I guess, small plates from different restaurants in the
Yep.
town, and distributed them during the pandemic, during the lockdown, to their houses. You had delivery systems set up. That was an amazing
we had,
feat.
like, pickup. Like
Yeah.
in Bakudo.
Oh, that's
So
what it was.
Joe,
But still, you had
and Rachel from Bakudo kind of like
Yeah.
started that, and then it worked out real well. It was good.
it really brought attention to everybody within the village for sure.
Yeah, we definitely have a special bond now.
Yeah, you got through something together.
Yeah, we got through it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, Joe, you guys have seen a lot of growth in the town. Give us your perspective on where do you think the future is. Joe, I'll start with you.
I mean, I think with the well and those people moving, or the well, or Fairfield, or whatever you want to call it now, I think that was beneficial.
Fairfield took it over?
Town.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
Now
there's
you're
not much outside of bringing people in from other towns. Like, there's not really much space available for growth.
okay.
I agree.
There's like if you've been in town, there's like 1 or 2 empty like storefronts available. So there's not much more we could put into the village at
Okay.
this point in time.
Except
Like,
for
I
more
don't know.
parking.
I don't really know. I don't really know what we're
You have an
missing.
abundance of parking.
No,
There's
we-
actually too much parking.
There's too much parking,
That's,
apparently.
that's what the town. Yeah,
That's
after
the town.
they
I
paid
mean,
people.
Well, think about it.
Figure
The
that
bank's
out.
going to open in the next 2 years. Like, that's happening.
Okay.
Who's moving in there, Joe?
What?
Who's moving into the bank?
Connor from Mary Carroll's owns the bank, and they got a loan. They're going to start building it out soon.
Yeah, I did hear the Mary Carroll
That's
stuff.
definitely
good.
happening.
Mhm.
And they're in the process of. I mean, I don't know what stage they're in. I know it's definitely
Sure.
happening. But other than that, there's no open stores.
There's a whole there's a whole building of stores down the block from that on the
Oh,
on
yeah.
the
Yeah, but
southbound side.
that's really
Nothing's
that's way
ever gonna-
south though. That's the
Yeah.
problem. That's just kind of too far out of the main
The
hub.
lady wants too much money too. For
Yeah.
Yeah, well, of what-
And
of
I
what
think
we're
the
all
biggest
doing.
thing, and Joe and Mike, you guys can agree, that wall bounds is ripe for something awesome.
Oh God, that
the
is
the
fucking do
imaginative
something already.
thing that the town could do with that, knock that down. I'm not saying make it all apartments for sure, because we already have
It's
plenty.
going to be. It's going to end up being.
I
that.
know, but if they just turned into like a nice little
So much
business
space.
square, like an open air market, almost not like a Tanger Outlets, but open air where you can walk through, that would bring so much more to the town. That if you want to talk expansion, you got the ability for small businesses, restaurants, bars, everything right there in that area.
Yeah, 100%. But that's not going to happen. That's going to end up. Honestly, that's going to end up being apartments.
Yeah,
I have a feeling.
Well, I mean, Joe,
but
we
we're
can
also a very well-rounded town.
Joe,
Like,
we can
don't-
also
what else
open
do we
Barrage
need?
again in the Wallbounds Shopping Center, right?
What was that?
We'll just make Barrage a mega brewery like Goose Island in the Wallbounds.
Good luck getting Steve on board with that.
I think Steve's trying to play a belated April Fool's joke. on
Yeah, I
us.
think so. But I mean, that whole area, it's got to be something we got to be imaginative at this point. Like I said earlier in the show, we got to start looking at the future. What is that area going to bring the most to the town with? What can we do? Apartments isn't alone going to do it. Can we do like 2-story business / residential area, light residential area / commercial? There could be some opportunity there.
There's a lot of red tape on that property.
I know, but we got to break that.
What
That's
do you
I'm-
want? I ask you all the time. So we're in all those stupid mom groups and Lindy
I
groups
want a
and
shooting
whatever.
range.
Yeah, I like it.
And everyone complains when another bar or another restaurant or another brewery opens up, and then everyone complains like another bar, another restaurant. Like, but and I always like comment. I'm like, what do you want? Like,
Right.
what do you want to see? And no one ever has an answer.
I would say I'll say this. I would,
Skating rink.
no, I'm going to say an all-purpose area, right? Will in Jersey, right? We
Go-kart
have
track.
like I don't want to say amusement parks, but it's known for the shore. It's known for like that attraction. Isn't that something that could possibly work in a Long Island village? Something that's small and attractive, even if it's mini golf and then surrounded by apartments and light residential, first story commercial, second story residential, that kind of thing. It's like a
Yeah, a
hybrid.
lot of people are trying to do that out here. It does.
I
It does.
guess.
I mean,
Those things are so hard, though. Those things are really hard to pull off.
What about the world's largest tanning booth?
there you go.
What are you talking about? No.
How many beers have you had?
Yeah, not enough. Well, we've been drinking a 10.2% stout pretty regularly from Twin Lights. That's kind of got me a little bit. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be some vision, future vision for that site. And every town has a square like that we have our little area, right? We have that, but we can expand on that. It's right there. It's just unused.
It's always going to be right there.
That's right.
The
That's why we have
landlord doesn't wanna do
iPhones.
anything.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm getting too. You know,
it's true.
people complain about everything, but
What'd you say,
What was
Joe?
that?
No, we were saying that it's something that's ripe for the taking. We just have to be imaginative in what we're doing.
But the landlord doesn't want to do anything with it, and no one can force him to, so therefore it continues to be an eyesore.
Yep. Unless
We have the
somebody has
same problem by
$13
us. You got to force them, man. You got to force them.
He wants an astronomical amount of money for it, so...
Really? Yes,
it's a
but
tax write-off.
it is. It is. At
Yeah,
this
he's
point,
probably making more money not doing anything with it
that's correct.
100%.
as a tax write-off,
Oh man.
unfortunately.
Will, Twin Lights in New Jersey. You were saying before that a lot of the towns are trying new things. Will, what is Highlands doing? What is that area doing up there to kind of?
Highlands is where we originally have been trying to open the brewery for about 5 years. Highlands sits below sea level. It was devastated by Sandy. The property value in the last 10 years have like quadrupled, at least for residential real estate. But
So they think
a lot of the
residential is the
commercial-
best way to go.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is
Yield the
because you
most.
have the main drag. The entire street of Highlands is called Bay Avenue. It is dual zone commercial and residential. Problem is you got all these commercial buildings that people have bought. They're dilapidated. They're sitting there, and it's in the process of becoming an economic redevelopment zone. So in New Jersey, that means property tax abatements, 3.5% sales tax versus 7%.
Jesus.
All these property owners would rather sit on it and get the tax write-offs and they're paying nothing on a vacant property that's abandoned or they knocked it down. It's just land, and they're sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, and they're
Waiting to sell till those.
They're waiting
Someone's
to
going to
pay
come
that,
in and the
man.
price is going to go up because of those incentives.
They're just waiting for it. They bought it for fucking $60,000, pardon my French, and they're going to sell it for $600,000 once the economic redevelopment goes through, and you don't have to pay property taxes for 10 years.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for a small brewery like us, we had to go elsewhere. We couldn't open up in the town we wanted to open up in because
Yeah.
Hear him talk.
Mike, no, you can't hear him talk, Joe. Mike, you're on the phone still. What is your vision for the town and what it can do for growth moving forward?
I mean, I feel like the easy thing everyone always says, right, is like there is no more room. I just think like all these towns like Patchogue and Babylon and stuff have just grown so much over time. If there's a will, there's a way. People will figure it out. Businesses will close. Places will be split. Like there's plenty of spaces and spots that'll open up that I think people don't even necessarily see as potential business spots now. There's definitely plenty of room, and the fact that we've always kind of discussed it at the brewery, like offhandedly, but Hoffman Avenue is a really good kind of center point where there's plenty of space on Hoffman to keep going kind of in both directions too. Basically, even if you consider the fact you could go almost to the well with more stuff. So I feel like there's always room, and if there's a will, there's a way. People will find a way to make businesses anywhere they want them to be.
I agree with you. I think to the point where you're gonna, the town has got to realize that the future is in these undeveloped areas, these open spots. If you want it to reach its, full potential, we have to fill those with things that make sense. And like Joe said before, what do you want in the town? What are the things that the residents want?
Another pizza place.
No more pizza.
That's coming.
Joke's
You know
on
that,
you.
right?
Is
Wait,
there
what?
another pizza place coming?
There is one.
Pizzeria.
We're gonna have
My hometown
Where?
doesn't disappoint.
Where there's 5 already. Where's
Trying to ride that San City wave
Oh my god.
The old AT&T.
across from the
It's
church.
the guys from the pizzeria.
Okay, but
that
opening
is
there.
their spot. I
Yeah.
remember you said that. Yes.
Oh my god.
Ride that San City
There's
wave.
literally going to be 5 pizza places.
No, I thought there's 5 now.
No, there's
4?
more than that.
There's more. Well,
more
it's
than that.
Mr. G's, there's Stella too, right?
Are we really gonna name them all? Spasso.
Spasso, that's
What's
right.
the one up
Well, I
in
was just
town?
thinking in walking distance, though.
Right.
Like 27A.
Yeah, you can't go
Yeah.
down to Luigi's on Merrick Road and say that's a
Or
pizza
Roma.
place in the village.
Roma.
Yeah, any of those. But for the most part, there's way too many Italian places. And then you got what's the Italian restaurant in town that has a second location right there on Merrick Road?
Doro.
Yeah, Gacciadoro. I mean, those. As much as I love Italian, there's only so many places I can frequent. Maybe we open a Mexican place,
Well, there's one coming. Tacos and tequila.
tacos and tequila. But they've been trying to get into that brew
it's
house
where-
space for
That's
a long
what
They're
time.
closer than further now.
Yeah, they're closer now.
Okay, all right. So I mean,
Lot of
that's the
hurdles.
thing. Like Tennessee Dreads, great idea.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone going ever in and out, but yet they're still there. So
Yeah.
congratulations to them for staying open. Bakudo was a great addition to the village. There's a lot of great restaurants. Hermanas, of course. Yeah,
yep.
Just so many opportunities there. But again, do I want more restaurants? I don't think I need any more restaurants. So what is going to be the one thing that populates a town that makes it an upgrade? Right? What's the thing?
I think the world's largest tanning salon.
That is not. Just say more nail salons.
We're getting the cocktail bar.
That'd be a good one.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if there's enough hair salons.
No.
Yeah, we
Hair
definitely
and nail
need
is
another
definitely
one.
on the down low in our town for sure. There's not enough of those.
What about a community theater above one of these?
Wait, there's two of them. Just stop. Studio is a great place. I love studio. Will, before we get out of here, because I am filling up to the top balls with urine, and not to be too descriptive, but my leg hasn't stopped jumping in the last 10 minutes. Amazing beers, Will. We really appreciate you spending the time with us remotely tonight. I want to give you an opportunity to give us the big plug, where people can find you, where people can find your beer at this point. I know it's not distributed in New York, but really we're only a stone's throw away from where people can probably find your beer. Give us all the information people need to know to get that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have really too many plugs. I mean, for us, it's we spend a lot of time and effort doing beer finders. So every single beer we put out to our stores, we try to update it as
Good idea.
often as possible of what's available. So you go on twinlightsbrewing.com. That's really everything. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, twinlightsbrewing.com. It's the same thing. We pretty much do everything through social media at this point. So any news about us opening, and hey, if you're coming down the shore this summer, we're right off the Garden State Parkway, exit 102. You could be driving down the Parkway, hop off, have a pint, and be back on the Parkway in 15 minutes. So
nice.
Definitely,
Garden State?
stop by.
Garden State Parkway.
Yep,
Yes.
exit 102.
Like it.
We're right there, within 3 minutes drive off the Parkway. So,
Are you going to be open before June 4th and 5th and 6th when we go to AC Beer Fest?
I wish.
But you will be at AC Beer Fest.
Man. Come to AC Beer
Yes.
Fest. We'll be there hanging. It's going to be a good time.
I actually have my, I don't know if you could see on the camera here, but I actually have my AC Beer Fest glass that we have personalized here. There it is, AC Beer Fest.
Very high-tech sticker.
This is from 2019 when we went, but we have 2020 coming up. 2022 coming up, and 2020 was canceled. 2021 was outdoors. It's an outdoor festival. It's awesome. It's on Bader Field in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Hundreds and hundreds of beers to choose from, all from New Jersey's finest. Really appreciate your time, Will. Stay right there. We're going to get right back to you. Ryan, Melissa, for the future of 27A, what's immediate, what's long-term? What are you thinking?
Oof.
I know, it's a tough one.
I don't know. Brew beer, drink beer.
Yeah.
Immediate
Keep
would
doing
probably
you,
be
right?
The canning line.
Yeah,
getting
that's
some
a
four-packs
big
going.
one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's just a lot of cans out there.
Maybe a Pignoli cookie porter.
Ooh,
pair with
not
that.
a bad idea. That introduces another nut allergy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Duh. You want an S cookie? You don't want the S cookies? S cookie blonde with a gummy bear included. It's a several
porter.
adjunct. Yeah,
Pignoli porter. That sounds like
it does sound
that does
delicious.
sound-
And now you just
not
gave
the
him a new
worst idea that I've had all week.
I smell collaboration. Get Joe and his honey wine going, and we got ourselves
There you go.
a hell of a Lindenhurst collab. And you guys have done a bunch of collabs over the last few years now. Any future collabs coming? You see anything in the near future, long term, or wish list? Someone you'd like to go with?
It's more of just
Yeah, motion.
I need
would like
to have more time to do that.
Yeah,
stuff.
more time. Yeah.
Right now we're bartending every day.
Yeah. It's
hard to
just
get.
the two
Cleaning,
of us.
cleaning, kegging.
Yeah,
It's like I don't
Yep.
get to do as much fun stuff as I would like to.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
We had
Adulting
motion on.
sucks, Ryan. I don't know what to tell you.
It does.
Motion
I want
was-
my refund. I don't want to be an
Well,
adult
it was
anymore.
different pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were at Motion's opening, which was the week before the lockdown.
Yep.
wow. And I don't know how they made it through.
Yeah.
But they made it like you guys did.
They keep
hand in hand.
innovating and
Yep.
creating and having
Yep.
fun and
Yep, small operation.
seeing
You
what
have
people
to-
like, listening to what people like, and then
They're in a good location too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice little
same
spot
thing.
on
Yeah,
Park
yeah,
Boulevard.
they have a big community following.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Like, that's another one, Massapequa Park.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Where's room
the
for
only game
expansion?
in town.
Yeah.
in Massapequa, as far as a brewery. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there
That
on Main
doesn't
Street.
hurt.
It's great.
yeah.
You guys keep doing what you're doing. We really appreciate you guys being part of our town. His ex-town, my current town, and love having you
Ex.
around. And listen, I'm gonna push some things off. I got to make time to get back in there. It's been
get some
few
party
months.
mix pale ale.
Yeah, Party Mix
oh,
Pale
yeah,
Ale.
oh my god.
And if you want to sell your house,
No,
let us know.
We'll trade. You can move
How
in the
long-
well.
trade.
How?
Yeah.
You
No,
take
no,
our
no, no, no,
apartment.
no, no. We're gonna move into bigger. I got four kids. 4 people in my house. Thank God I don't have 4 kids. I have 4 people in my house, and my house is great for a starter home. You'd love it. I'll keep you in mind. How soon are you thinking?
December.
Oh no. Unless I win the lotto, that's not happening. But
Yeah.
we're there. If the things push off, I'll keep you in mind. Brian, Melissa, really appreciate it. 27A, big plugs. Where people can find you? Where can people get in touch with you? Stuff that's on the social media.
Instagram, big
Instagram.
one. Yeah, we're on TikTok. We
Oh, you're
yeah,
doing
Modern
TikToks.
Times.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
Nice.
That's all her.
I do the TikTok fun.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, you know the importance of social media and the networking that goes with it. So
For sure.
awesome. Again for joining us remotely.
Thanks so much, Will.
Awesome
Thank
beer,
you.
awesome times. Really appreciate you being on. This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com. Again, this show will be in podcast form on Instagram. Nope. Well, it is on Instagram already tonight. It's on Spotify. It's on the Hopped Up Network. It's on Amazon. It is
On
on
the iTunes?
What?
The iTunes.
iTunes, yeah. Well, it is also on YouTube. And also, coming soon, the iHeart Podcast Network. We're going to do iHeart too. Might as well. We have an RSS feed. Just throw it everywhere. Sprinkle it as far as we can go. Appreciate everyone for joining in tonight. Thanks for Joe and Mike for calling in. It was harder to take other phone calls. There were other people calling in, by the way, while we were on the phone with those guys. I can't have more than 2 rather. And appreciate for everyone being on Instagram tonight. Thanks a lot for checking in. This is the Word Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com. Pete, something to take us out of here with.
Don't forget to have your pet spayed or neutered.
That's it. This is the Word Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com, and we out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.
This has been The Wort on Govs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.